It's part of Vazul, baby.
Come on in.
What is happening? We have gotten back together for another hangout. And tonight, of course, we're going to be talking about a beloved franchise, beloved by many, hated by some. What's up, Abby?
She's going to have to drop out. We can't hear her either.
Oh, my God. She's gone. And she'll be back, hopefully. Anyhow, this was interesting. I've been following the Saw movies almost from the beginning. However, I dropped off my viewing of them probably after about. I said, "Hey, Abby, welcome back."
Hi. There was no sound on my end.
What?
I
That's
know.
ridiculous.
I was like,
well, I'll probably test that here again in a minute. Just to find out if you still have sound when we come back. I kind of dropped off a little bit after, I'll say, like 6 or 7, and I don't have huge, memories of anything beyond that. And then, of course, I did not watch Spiral, and I did not watch the brand new one, Saw 10. And spoiler alert, I still haven't.
Well, have you never seen Saw 10?
I haven't, but I'm okay if you guys want to talk about it. We're going to go through all of them. When I do my ranking, I just won't include them because I don't know enough about them. Yeah, I know. I meant to. And what I probably should have done was watch the ones that I haven't seen and then gone back and started over and been like, okay, now I've seen all of those. I'll just go back and see the rest of them. I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
Yeah. Now, I posted something earlier today on the Facebooks. This was a message for all of you that I received directly from Jigsaw himself. I know that a couple people have seen it. I don't know if everyone here has seen it, so I thought I would just load it in to StreamYard and play it for you because it seems an appropriate way to begin this. So hopefully you can hear it. And if you can't, I'll just tell you what he said. All right. One moment.
Hello, I want to play a game. You're all guilty of watching a ridiculous number of Saw movies and passing silent judgment on all of its victims. Tonight, your participation in a live stream discussion will be required. All of your biases and lukewarm opinions will be noted. If you want to survive, you'll have to argue with your friends and rank the films in your preferred order. Are you up for the challenge? Do you have what it takes? Make your choice.
Chilling, isn't it? You're in your very own Saw trap right now.
Earlier. It was very cool.
I didn't realize it was a video. I thought it was just a link to the.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah.
So I'd have been dead.
That's right. Follow
I
the
win.
rules, Ryan. Follow the rules.
Not just making my ranking right now.
I don't know. I threw that together today. I was actually sitting around and I was like, man, I wonder if I can like put a voice changer like on this and just talk like Saul half the time. And I was like, and I remembered I had a voice changer app on my phone that I probably put on there over a year ago. And it has this selection on it called Boss. And I don't care what they call it. It's freaking Jigsaw. So So that's how that started. I thought, well, I'm putting this to a video. So
That was pretty cool.
That's
It was
awesome.
well done.
That
thank
was
you,
awesome.
thank you. You're looking at a hard 30 minutes of effort right there.
Nice.
Yeah.
More than I could say I did. So.
Anyhow, so before we get into it and talk about the first movie, I would kind of like to get the rest of you all's opinion on the Saw franchise as a whole and what it means to you. Nicole, how do you feel about the Saw movies?
I almost wasn't a fan of them because I saw the first one and I was not impressed. And I thought, I'm not even going to bother with the second one when it came out. And then I was at a convention where they had a big part 2 reunion right after the movie came out. And I'm like, well, saw some of the traps and I'm like, I'll give it a shot. So, and I've been hooked ever since. I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't see John Kramer as a villain at all. So, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Ryan, what has your relationship with the Saw movies been like?
So Saw for me is an interesting one. The experience of watching Saw for me has always been better than the actual movies. I had some great high school friends growing up, and we all kind of went our separate ways. Come from Canada. But somehow me and a couple of friends had always been able to get together to watch Saw when it came out in theaters. And we somehow managed to continue that tradition right up until Jigsaw.
Nice.
And
Wow.
unfortunately, yeah, Jigsaw, Spiral, and 10, we had not been able to get together to see. But I mean, for a long time there, especially when they were coming out every year, it was almost like a little reunion. So,
That's cool.
I mean, the movies are fine too, but the experience was
It's
better.
about the experience. That's the way I feel about the first Jurassic Parks are amazing, but later it just became something my dad and I did together. Whether or not the movies were bad, it didn't matter.
So, Ryan, the chain has been broken. You no longer have this connection with your friends. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought I screwed up. In the game.
That's it. Fucked up. Trap set. Boom.
Yeah,
Dead
right.
motherfucker.
That's right. Yeah. The fact that you did not continue on that tradition is the reason why the movies got so bad.
Well, you say that, but you haven't
all your
seen
fault.
X, which is probably my second favorite in the entire series.
I've heard good things about it, and I am going to finish it. And I don't care how bad people say Chris Rock is. I'm going to look at Spiral as well.
I mean, I watched that one too, but so for me, I actually really did like the first movie, yet I find it's the least rewatchable, if that makes sense. When it came out and the movie, I mean, it blew my mind. It was just, I was hooked. But again, going back and watching it, I have to agree with Nicole. Like, it's a little boring now. Once you know the quote unquote twist, there are really no traps. There really no, but it is the beginning, the woving of the story, as it were, which, so I did not watch. I watched the first couple and then would sort of watch them on TV. I did see 3D in the movies with a couple girlfriends of mine and enjoyed that, but realized that I missed the whole Hoffman era till later. So I did go back and those are the ones I don't know as well, but I watched them this time to make sure I was up on them.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I could kind of see that. The first one being kind of a slow starter. I actually really like the first one.
I love the first one. I just don't think it's as rewatchable as some of the other ones. Once you know
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I hadn't seen it in years, and I went back and rewatched it for this, and I had almost as good of a time watching it the second time as I did the first time.
Right.
But again, it had been probably 10 years or more since I saw it the last time. I mean, it's probably more than 10 years. But I had to be reminded of a lot of things because I had forgotten some major plot points and some things that happened in the movie.
Who's Zeb?
Yeah. Freaking Zep. Um, so yeah, that was kind of one of the things that I wanted to do was go over some of the things that we like about these things that we learned about the characters and the basic setup of it. Also, things we didn't like. Maybe you can throw in your favorite kill. You know what I mean? If you got one. Um, I found it interesting in the first movie that most of the traps were referred to in like a past tense. These were all flashbacks, and that's one of
Right.
those things that seems to go throughout the series. They love to throw in their flashbacks. They love to throw in their time warp mind fuckery. You know what I mean? To where you don't even know which movie you're watching
Right.
at any given point in time. I found myself actually getting confused a couple of times through the series here. I'm like, what the fuck is going? This shouldn't be happening right now. What am I watching? You know, and
Jigsaw still sort of confuses.
yeah, yeah. So this one, and I also found some contradictions in the series where, like they kept giving Jigsaw's character more and more motivation for doing what he was doing. You
Right.
know, like it's like, oh fuck, we have another reason. Did he really need another reason, to do this? But it was just how they were tying their new storyline together. Oh, well, this happened, so this is another reason for Jigsaw to be doing these horrendous things to people. And I also want to ask another question before we get too in depth in this first movie. Does anybody here consider Jigsaw to be a murderer?
No.
Well, he doesn't actually murder anybody. Technically. He just, well,
Hands on. But he does kidnap people, and he
he
does
does. I'm not saying he's a good guy.
to where they have to make a choice, and usually it's between life or death. So he's constructed a trap where ultimately it does end up in the deaths of several people. So because he orchestrated all of that,
Jigsaw's 110% a murderer.
there's a heavy amount of premeditation in all of this.
No, he's totally a murderer. You're right.
I consider him to be a murderer, and he insists throughout the entire series that he's not. I've never killed anyone.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. Honestly, that's what Manson's gig it. How many times has Manson said that? I've never killed a person.
Right, yeah.
It's still evil.
Right. And he said that
Saw traps don't kill people. People kill people.
People kill people.
Yeah, that's it. And at the same time, I support Jigsaw's right to bear the devices of people's
To
demise.
bear saw traps. To bear saw bear traps.
Bears.
All right. Nicole, what did you like about Saw 1?
What did I like about it?
What did you not like about it? Okay, well, we can start there. I don't know.
The twist ending was great. I did not see it coming. The few traps they had were fantastic. Shawnee Smith was great.
Mm-hmm.
It's boring as hell. I'm sorry. I did not like the first one at all. I don't consider it a horror movie. It was like a thriller.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely not my favorite. I thought it was boring.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ryan, is there anything in particular that you found yourself liking about the first Saw movie?
Well, to echo Nicole and something I'm sure we'll all agree on, the ending is fucking insane. Like for the longest time after this movie came out, I would like find out who hadn't seen Saw yet, and I'd make them watch it, and I'd watch them at the ending just to see their reaction to it. I like that we get hints of like James Wan loving like Giallo in this, like Jigsaw with the robe, and you get the gloved hands and all that stuff, and that really came out like full force in Malignant later on. But the original Saw for me is, I agree, I'd almost say it's not a horror movie. It's more like a dark detective thriller,
Psychological thriller.
Yeah, mixed with some Giallo. But I absolutely love it. I love how terrible Carrie Elwes is in it.
Always.
Danny Glover is also terrible in it, but they're like the right kind of terrible. Like it again, to go back to the Giallo, it feels like I'm watching John Saxon back in like, Bird with the Crystal Plumage or something like that.
Mhm. But
I
Lee Winnell was great.
surprisingly, he was the best actor in
He
the
was
whole movie,
fantastic. Yeah.
and everybody shat on him. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is the only guy that got the assignment.
He needs to act more, I think.
He's
Yeah.
great
I
in
think
those other ones too.
the
Insidious.
Conjuring movies.
Oh, The
Or
Conjuring.
no,
No, he's
Insidious.
Insidious.
No, you're
Yeah,
right. Insidious.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which
No,
one
the
was
dude's
he?
great. He's
He
one of
was
the
Specs,
one of Lynn
one of
Shay's
Lynn Shay's
buddies.
helpers with the
Oh,
glasses.
The boys. One of the boys.
Yeah.
okay.
I think Saw is one of those movies, and I'm borderline, if not a contrarian, when it comes to horror movies. But I do feel Saw is a film that rightfully gets like the kudos that a lot of people give it.
Mhm.
It's a smart movie.
Yeah,
That is true. Yeah.
Richard's here. Loves a girl with good plumage, he says.
Oh, Richard, we miss you.
Don't we all, sir? Anyhow, welcome. Thank you for joining us, sir. No, it's getting late over there. They're getting ready to go through their time change. So
I didn't
again,
know they
we
had
shall
that in
be.
the UK.
Yeah, they do. It happens at a different time than ours does. So
Yeah.
like they're for a
They had
couple
a
of
couple
weeks.
months in there where they were like only 4 hours different, I think.
Yeah.
And now
It's like
they're back to
2-3 weeks. They're like 4 hours different than us. Now they're going back to 5 hours between us. But
It's like their Mother's Day. It's on a different day too, but it's earlier than ours.
Mhm.
So like every year, I get some friends from the UK posting like Happy Mother's Day, and I lose my shit for about
and
8
you're like,
seconds,
what?
thinking I'm like, fuck, I forgot Mother's Day.
Abby, did you say what you like about Saw 1?
I mean, I just think it's very smart. I think the way everything ties together, I think the ending blew my mind when it first happened. No pun intended for the gross, But I wrote something down. I'm sorry. Let me just check this. That
Yeah. Back to 5 hours tonight, Claire says.
Aw.
Hi, Claire.
so I find it interesting on multiple rewatches of the first one now, and this was the first time I thought about it. They have the recorder they take out of the dead man's hand, which we know is John's hand. So he has the recorder in his hand. They get the recorder by the whole shirt trick and everything. But didn't it seem weird that there was no tape in it? Again, I know I did not pick on this before, but like they put their tape in, but he was, he has the gunshot on his head, and you would think he listened to his tape and chose to kill himself instead of dying by poison.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But there was no tape in the machine, and that's something I did not pick up on until today or yesterday.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Yeah, that could have
Why
been
would he
included.
kill
in that.
himself after not listening to anything?
Right. It just seemed
I never
like,
got that.
but I can understand why they didn't necessarily pick that up. Like, hey, there's no tape in here. That man must not be dead. But I thought of it this time, like, that son of a bitch.
That is pretty interesting. I had never
Did she just
considered
call
that
you?
before.
I thought she just called you an asshole. I swear to God.
I hope not. I mean, I hope I,
I
haven't
hope not
taught her
too, but
that
I
word
like
yet.
A few more
No,
years.
Yeah. I think it was cat home or something like
that
that.
makes much more sense.
Yeah. I don't know. She could have been an asshole. I don't know.
It could have been asshole.
Could have been. Yeah. There was a couple shitty things about this movie. I feel like they had a pretty good layout, and from what I understand, it was kind of a lower budget movie. This was an independent film when it was done originally, and some of the things felt like they were just tied together, like after the fact. Like there wasn't a lot of thought put into it. Like you consider like the key that went down the drain in the very beginning of the movie
When
that
he
was
goes up the
supposed to unlock that guy. You know what I mean? Because you think about it, it's like, well, that felt very rushed, like they were just wrapping up the story. Because like if that hadn't gone down the drain and it had been there, he'd have unlocked himself immediately. And then,
Which is why he had it rigged that when he shot up, it would pull the plug.
When he pulled it,
It was intentional, I think.
right.
He
No,
wasn't
you
supposed
find
to
out
get
in a later movie it was supposed to be around his neck. But
he was supposed
Amanda,
to have the key.
yeah, Amanda just tossed it on him, nilly willy.
Huh. Willy nilly.
Mhm.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I felt that, maybe Zepp's willingness to like terrorize a mother and her child
For a small
was
child.
a little over the top, considering that he was supposedly poisoned and he was doing all this to get an antidote for himself. I don't know how much believability I had in that. Like he tried nothing else. Immediately he decided that he was going to go kidnap this family and hold them and just wait for the timer to run out and watch the monitors and hope that Dr. Gordon killed Adam. You know what I mean? It's
that's actually a talking point I want to bring up really quick. So
okay.
We hear a lot of people say Jigsaw is not a villain, and that's kind of the running thing for this whole series. So Jigsaw, I'm not a villain. I only do this to people who deserve it. Also, Jigsaw, I'm going to poison Zepp, the only man that was nice to me in the hospital, and make him kill Dr. Gordon's wife and child, who, as far as I could tell, their only crime was not knowing that Dr. Gordon was thinking about having an affair.
That's right.
Which again, Jigsaw is going to kill Dr. Gordon because he thought about having an affair.
Yeah, he didn't even do it.
Some clarification on a person or two. Like I don't know if it's jumping the gun or we should wait till we get to the second or third movie, but I can't figure out what Dina Meyer did wrong. Was she a bad cop?
But no, actually, yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to because there is a reason for that. I can explain that one.
Good, because I feel like she didn't really. I don't know. I like the insurance guy one though.
Yeah, I do feel that's a big because, and in the later movies too, it does show like all these people are pretty sleazy. Now, granted, they deserve to die. That's here or there, but I feel especially in the first movie that is really kind of confusing to the Kramer character because I mean, sure, maybe Zepp did do something and we didn't know what it was, but what did Dr. Gordon's wife and daughter do?
Right. We call those collateral damage.
Yeah, it's and we had that all those events just start coming together at the end of it, like tying things together, and they very narrowly escaped death. So if had it not been for Danny Glover's character, finally making his way in there, like I feel like their escape never would have happened.
Right.
And I feel like they'd done him dirty. You know what I mean? He followed Zepp, in probably the world's worst looking car chase I've ever seen. And
something like a Tool video.
Yeah, exactly. And or like The Crow 2 or something. Like they just have this like wrestling match in the halls of the building where he's keeping the doctor and Adam, and just gets a gunshot wound, dies. I mean, I'm like, come on, man.
Something's not right.
This monomaniacal guy, where like Jigsaw was his white whale, like Captain Ahab, and he like just eats it in a tunnel with one single gunshot wound. Yeah. I felt they did him dirty in that. So anyhow, Richard says all cops are bad.
Aww.
And I don't know what this means. Hey up, Mike. I don't see Mike. Where's Mike? He's not here. But anyhow. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody have a favorite kill out of this?
In the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, probably Shawnee Smith when she stabs when she's supposed to get out of the dead guy and then he's not really dead, so she just starts diving. I kind of love that.
Yeah, I kind of like that one too. That was pretty good. Although I think the razor wire maze was pretty good.
Ooh,
I like that one a lot.
Okay. Is that your favorite?
In the first one, yeah. I also enjoyed the. I mean, there weren't many in the first, but
Yeah, I was thinking.
Right.
the first one was the guy was covered in a accelerant. Was that part 1 or part 2?
Yeah. Yeah. With
Yeah,
the
that was
candle,
part
and he had
1.
to
Yeah,
find the
and you find the
combinations on the
combination on the
wall.
wall. Yeah.
I like Zepp's death, where Adam just goes like batshit with the toilet lid.
With the toilet lid,
Yeah.
like True Romance style.
Yeah, just starts screaming again. Dude's friggin' phenomenal in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I found out that guy was actually a writer.
Yeah, he's written
And-
several Saw movies. I think he directed. Did he direct any of the Saw? I know he directed an Insidious movie or two.
Okay. Yeah.
Him and James Wan are like buddy.
Buddy buddies.
Okay. Yeah. And people dump on his acting in this movie, but I didn't think he was bad.
No, I thought he was actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Can you imagine? Just get beat to death with a toilet lid. I mean,
No.
for God's sake. Yeah,
No,
that was pretty
Uh,
that was pretty bad.
Oh no, it's Michael. That's right. He was also in Lost. That's how I know him.
Oh,
and
Zepp,
Zepp,
yeah.
Zepp,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Now that's what I know him from.
And the show Evil, if anybody watches that show.
That I did not.
It's a religious horror, and cop stuff, and
Mhm.
I kind of dig that.
Oh.
So before we get off the first one, I'm gonna just quickly throw out a piece of trivia that I thought was super cool, and I didn't find out about this piece of trivia until like the last time I watched this, so like maybe 2 months ago. For some reason,
Okay.
I've watched these recently before the hangout was even decided.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in the scene where John Kramer's in the hospital bed and Dr. Gordon's, talking about him and to the med students, the pieces of paper on John Kramer's table show the reverse bear trap.
Do they really?
He's doing blueprints for his traps
while he's in the hospital.
Yeah. This movie's been out for 10 years, like it's whatever. It's longer than 10 years now, I think. But I never noticed that. And I'm like, oh, they've got to be like it's got to be a subtle thing, right? Like, but nope, right there,
right there in the for everyone to see. Yeah, no, I didn't notice that. That's funny.
James Wan does that a lot.
Yeah,
little Easter eggs. Yeah,
I might have to go back and look for that. That's pretty funny.
Well, it really shows how little because like it's at the bottom of the frame, so like, well, there's my camera. John's like here, but so it's like right down near the bottom of the frame, and it really shows as a viewer how much of the screen you actually take in.
Yeah,
because you're basically focused dead center, and anything off to the sides just kind of blew my mind.
Right. That is pretty cool. That's a neat little piece of trivia.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. I think I need to go back and see that.
Right.
Yep.
Like they're clearly blueprints, so like it's not like it's a picture of Shawnee Smith taped to the side and all this stuff. Like knowing the movie, you're like, okay, well that's the fucking bear trap. Like,
yeah. And it didn't have like his list of what he was going to do right next to it. It's just basically a dude.
First, I will kidnap this.
Kidnap.
Yeah, interesting.
I like
So that kind of begs the question because like they kind of hinted that he didn't really have the motivation to do all this until after his car accident. Well, his car accident should have been after that. But if there was blueprints of this while he was lying in a hospital bed, then that would kind of indicate that he was thinking all of this before that.
It could have been after the car accident. Maybe he was in there for treatment of some kind, or
yeah, I guess they were vague on that.
Yeah, or he could have been in there for the car accident because he pulled a big piece of metal out of his side. I'm sure he required surgery of some kind.
Probably.
So the only thing I'm going to take out of this is when he had the car accident, he still had hair. And when he was in the hospital bed, he didn't have hair.
Okay.
Yeah, so it must have been sometime later.
Yeah, maybe it was after the car accident. Man, this movie fucks you all up. Like you don't know what time it is, for God's sake. That's the most frustrating thing about this is like I don't know where we are in the timeline whenever they show you flashbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a general idea, but not exactly.
Come here.
Okay. That is interesting. Okay. So I guess I don't really have much else to say about Saw 1. And we could possibly move on to Saw 2. And I'll reserve my thoughts on Saw 2. Nicole, how do you feel about Saw 2?
I think it's one of the best in the franchise. It's
Mhm.
it's fantastic. The traps. It has some of the most hated characters ever.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
a thinkable, likable person in the whole movie.
No, it's like they took the concept of Saw and just put it on steroids and just amped it up with the clues and X marks the spot and we do and if you they're going to be spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
We do see throughout Saw 2, and I kind of just noticed this the other day. You can tell that Amanda is in on it. There are little subtle things that she does and doesn't do that shows that she's not being affected by the poison. She never coughs. She's constantly on the kid, like protecting him and pulling him and getting in front of him and as far as part 2 goes, the needle pit is the best. That was the best.
Yeah.
That one hurts
It's pretty
It's hard to watch.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch any of the videos out there where they talk about how they did that?
Mhm.
The needle pit, that is pretty insane.
Yeah.
Like they did it, they wanted to do an actual pit and they did one and they
Yeah.
completely underestimated how many syringes they would need to fill that.
Yep.
And they ended up I can't even remember
Thousands.
how many now. Thousands,
Mhm.
and then they realized that they didn't have enough, so they ended up putting more in there.
Oh,
And it's like, and how do you put syringes in there that look like they would actually hurt somebody and also make sure that they didn't?
Yeah.
So like instead of those syringes having actual needles on them, they had a little piece of fiber optic wire sticking
so
out of
it
it.
looked like, yeah.
Yes, so it looked like a needle, but
That's
it would
pretty
it
cool,
would
though.
bend if you touched it. So
Yeah.
but you think about the hundreds, if not thousands, of those that they had to do by hand in
Yeah.
order to make that and throw them in that pit. It's like there was a lot of work for what you got there. So I'm glad it paid off well.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. It was that one, the needle pit, and the arm one.
The
I
arm one
cringed.
is what gets me. Yeah.
That was hard to.
The-
That was painful
They
to
call
watch.
that a degloving in orthopedic.
God.
Arm one?
When she
Where she
sticks her arm in the glass
through the
box
thing.
Oh,
and
right,
she
right,
tries
right.
to come out.
Okay.
But then she does the
blade.
other arm, which pisses
How
me
dumb
off.
are you?
It's just,
She was affected by the goofy gas. Like she wasn't thinking clearly.
and
Yeah.
honestly, I think it was just a panic response. But I always
Yeah.
get so mad at her. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah,
And
it's like-
Frankie G's character was just
Oh, what a dick.
fucking asshole, fucking piece of shit. Like you wanted to see him die.
yeah. Oh man, the box where she stuck her arms, man. It's like
No.
it was so stupid. Like clearly she wasn't thinking straight because
No.
she stuck a
Yeah, I
hand
mean,
in
she
and pulled the
panicked.
top
She
off
put the
the
first
syringe.
one in there, so
was-
I'm going to stick my
It
second
was
arm in there.
already screwed. So like she sticks her other arm and pulls the plunger part. Why?
Yeah. Stupid.
And now she's like,
stupidity.
I can't get out.
Yeah.
You think?
Joe says the needles gave me the willies. Hey Joe.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Ryan, what are your thoughts on part 2?
I can appreciate that part 2 gave us basically the template for these movies moving forward.
Mhm.
Having said that, I'm not a big fan of 2.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
Surprises me.
I don't know. It just bugs me. I don't.
Okay.
I like the whole Amanda thing. Wasn't expecting that at the end, but the best way I can describe it is it was Saw. The first one is, for all purposes, despite the ridiculous acting choices, it is a very serious movie.
Mhm.
Saw, the later Saw sequels with the traps and the grandiose of it all, they have a personality to them that matches that. This movie seems to be trying to bridge it it's going a little more ridiculous with the traps, but at the same time, it's trying to latch on to that serious feeling that the original movie had. And I just feel it tonally, it doesn't work all that well, if that makes sense.
Right.
Not.
Right.
I say tonally a lot when I'm talking about a movie I don't like. I think I have a problem when a movie's tone shifts, and it just
Please
automatically
that
bugs
tone
me.
with me.
Yeah.
Um,
Kyler says hello. Hey, Kyler.
Tyler.
Hi, Kyler.
Thanks for coming.
but yeah, no, I'm not the biggest fan. It's by far the worst one I've seen, but I was a little worried about where this franchise was going to go after I saw this one.
See, when it
Understood.
first came out, I was not a fan of the second one because, again, it was very, and I'll use Ryan's word, very different tonally from the first one. The first one had this very, as Ryan was saying, serious. But coming back to it, I want to say 2 is probably my favorite for rewatch value.
Yeah.
Just for it's almost like watching a reality show or like The Running Man or something, just put these fuckers in there and like see what happens. And they pit each one against each other. And I kind of love that. But like I said, when it first came out, when I first saw it, I was not a fan. And I don't know. I think I had a Donnie Wahlberg thing. I'm not sure, but I like it very much now. It's in my top 2 favorites, I'm sure.
Okay. And this is a reference to part 3. Where's Saul? Slow MF Jeff.
Motherfucking Jeff.
Actually, I kind of agree with that, Abby. The first time I watched part 2, I wasn't sure I was a fan of it. I felt that they were just trying to outdo the first movie, and I felt like they tried to give us too much. I felt like that they were just going over the top in a lot of different ways. And
Torture
that,
for the sake of torture.
I was really bothered by the literal use of the son being found in a safe place, and he's literally inside the safe. I rolled my eyes at that the first time I saw this movie. But
I audibly laughed in the theater.
But having said that, it's like, and seeing all the movies that came after and going back and watching it again, I'm like, this fucking movie's awesome.
Yeah, it's got great rewatchability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One more thing about 2 was the opening scene, and I know all the Saw movies moving forward have an opening trap,
Yeah.
And I know for myself, when I watch these movies, I'm watching the opening trap when it's always usually just one person. I sit there and think to myself, would I be able to do that? Like, because I love this trap. I love the mask that just closes shut. And it's like, would you be able to cut out your own eyeball to save your life? Like,
I don't think I would. I don't know. And I sadly think about that, but I don't know that I could.
Well, when you're only given a minute, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could, because it would
it's
take
an amount of time.
Popping that motherfucker out.
it would take me longer than a minute to get that eye out, I think.
Like that chick that chopped her arm off in the 4th one or whatever one that was.
I never understood the time frames he gives these people. Like, Jesus Christ, Jigsaw, are you trying to put this on a fucking Vine? Like, give them a couple more minutes.
Yeah. Clearly, they've got some decision making to do here. You're like giving them like no time at all. It's all snap judgment. Oh yeah, absolutely. Even take this eye out.
How bad do you want to live?
How bad you want to live? Yeah, and I think I would fail miserably, to be honest.
And then in the later movies, like a fucking asshole, the timer starts when they click the tape.
Yeah.
And he sounds
that
like
doesn't seem fair to me at all.
And he talks like one of those people that you're on a thing where you got to pay by the minute on the phone. Jigsaw's like, hello. I want to play.
Speed it up, man. Run out of time.
Yeah. I just wanted to hear somebody scream at that tape recorder. Hurry up! Spit it out, asshole.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I did like the head-mounted Iron Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of cool.
Although
cool. He referred to it as a Venus flytrap.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite of fly traps.
Yeah, right. Much better than the Mars flytrap.
Exactly.
I felt Donnie Wahlberg was great in this.
He was. We got introduced to Eric Matthews and Dina Meyer's character, and they came back later on. You know, it was
Yeah. And probably the most frustrating thing about the whole thing was that literally if he had just sat there and continued to talk to Jigsaw, he would have had to do nothing.
all he had to do was listen and follow the rules.
Yeah.
And that would have been
Let's see. He was too hot-headed.
He was too hot-headed.
Reminds me of one of those tests that they always used in like school to like trick you. They're like, read all the directions first.
Yeah, and you're like, fuck that, I don't need to read.
Right. Everybody'd start reading the directions, and like then you'd go down and start reading the questions and start answering questions. You know, and then you go back and finish the rules, and it's like only answers questions 4 and 6.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I have such strong memories about that. Like we were all doing, like it was stupid shit, like tap your head while you answer the next question, and like everybody in the class is fucking doing this, and there's this one kid near the back just sitting there the whole time, and I even commented on, like, I'm like, because the last one said, don't do anything and don't tell anyone why you're not doing anything. Right. This kid just had a shit-eating grin on the whole time. I'm trying to talk to him. He's not answering. I'm thinking, fuck you, buddy. I'm going to tap my head and write this down. And then I get to the last question. I just walk him like, you motherfucker.
Oh. They always got me with those. They always got me because I didn't have the attention span to finish reading the instructions.
Yeah. The joke was on them because I switched schools halfway through the grade, and they did the same fucking test after I switched schools, and I was like, not this time, motherfucker. I was the quiet kid not doing anything that day.
That's right.
And that pretty much carried on for the rest of my
school
was hard.
Oh, did we have any favorite kills in this one? Did we go over this?
Well, Nicole said she liked the needles, and I liked the arm thing. I'm trying to remember what else. I saw one guy got shot in the head when he didn't follow the rules.
Yeah, he said don't use the key, and he used the key, and it shot him through the peephole.
Yeah. Can't say he wasn't warned.
Frankie killed the one guy with the bat.
Oh, that was kind of good.
One girl died.
But yeah, the arm, the degloving just gets me every time.
Yeah. So everybody thought the furnace one was stupid.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah. I liked when Frankie G got killed with the toilet.
Yeah.
And with the toilet.
He did. The kid killed him.
Kid was trying to outact Adam there from the first movie. I think he almost
he was close.
Nailed it. Yeah. Nicole did mention the beginning real quick. I just wanted to bring that up too. Not the beginning kill, but I do Tobin Bell. This is where we get a lot of Tobin Bell. And that works for me in this movie. Like Tobin Bell is Jigsaw. Love it. Wish spoilers moving on. The fact that they kill him off was about the dumbest thing they could have done
in the third movie, no less.
Because then we get all those shitty flashbacks that Clint's talking about, just so you can have Tobin Bell in your Saw movies.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Kill Tobin Bell.
Maybe don't kill him off.
Yeah.
What else is he doing? He did like a guest spot on Friends and The Boogeyman 2. Like seriously, the dude will be in these movies.
3 was supposed to be the final chapter. It was only supposed to be 3, and then they kept going. Which
if you believe that 3 was going to be the final chapter, I got a Friday the 13th franchise to sell you.
Just like Freddy's dead. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. No, I probably have to agree. My favorite kill was probably the Iron Maiden, which was just the opening scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had some good ones in this one, but
somewhere in this house, I have a picture of myself in that trap.
Oh, really?
The actual trap from the movie.
Was that from Monster Mania or?
Yep.
I have that too. Somewhere.
Guy bought it. He was a prop collector and he bought it, and $20. Got your picture taken in the trap.
That's pretty cool. I might have had to do that too.
Yeah, it was heavy as fuck, man. That was not fake metal. That was real metal. That was awesome. Heavy on the shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably sitting there half thinking, is this thing going to go off while I'm wearing it?
There was still fake blood in it and everything. It was great.
Fake
blood.
Fake blood. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, number 2. All right. How about number 3, man? Number 3. That's the one with Jeff.
Motherfucking
Yeah.
Jeff.
Jeff.
Fucking Jeff.
Motherfucking Jeff.
I actually don't hate 3. I mean, I was kind of sad that it killed 2 of my favorite characters, but
That's right.
it didn't matter because they keep coming back.
That's
So
right. That's right.
to answer your question from before, why did what did she do wrong to deserve to die?
Dina Meyer, yeah.
It's established in this movie that Amanda is just killing because she's like, "Fuck it, I want you to die."
Okay,
Oh,
and that's,
And that's why her trap.
that
That's why when
Amanda
she's like
really
melting her
wasn't-
hands and she gets the key, but it doesn't work because she was never getting out of that.
Right. Right.
That actually is a little depressing.
Yeah. Part 3, we did establish where Amanda was just killing for sport, and she was setting up the traps where it wasn't possible to escape. Nicole, what are your thoughts on 3?
I love 3. 3 is one of the few movies that I think it's the only movie that made me dry heave that much in a movie theater. The pigs in the grinder with the judge strapped to the I'm trying not to talk about it too much because of the sound.
Even
I'm getting warm now thinking about it because I'm
side note, even though the judge didn't die, that was probably my favorite trap. I call that the rotten Scrapple trap.
Kind of looked like Scrapple.
Well, that's how you make it. Except the pigs aren't rotten.
Well, no, they were because they were covered in maggots.
I know. That's what made it great.
Have that metallic smell to it. Like, sorry, Nicole.
Yeah.
If she starts dry heaving, I will throw up. So we need to keep that in mind.
Yes, let's not do that.
So there's plenty
I'm
of
a
other
very
traps in this movie
sympathetic
that we could
puker.
talk about.
Yeah.
Frozen lady. The frozen
And
lady.
then
Really
the
cool.
judge did die, but not in the trap.
Unceremoniously.
Unceremoniously.
Motherfucking Jeff.
God,
Yeah, that was
motherfucking
so
Jeff got the
stupid.
judge killed.
Fucking
There were some great traps in this movie. The rack is probably my favorite in this one.
That one is hard to watch for me.
Because that's very hard to watch. And I was watching this with Olin the other night, and I was commenting that Jeff. All right, so at the end we find out that Jeff and Lynn are married and they lost their son. If my son was hit by a drunk driver like that, they wouldn't be around to be put into traps. I would have killed them. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. And I don't understand. And that's one thing I didn't as a parent, I didn't understand when he had to burn his son's things to get the key, to get the judge out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it.
That's
Let him
much of
fucking
luck.
die. I would have stood there while every single one of them died. I would not have even tried to save them.
He almost didn't.
He almost didn't, but he did. All of them, he did try, and he succeeded getting the judge out, and then got him shot. So,
Jeff.
And Olin wanted you to know that he's eating steak while he's listening to you talk about the pigs.
I want
sorry.
a steak. Bring it over.
What's up, people? Says Peter Anthony. What's up,
Hi,
Peter?
Hey, Peter, how you feeling?
Hopefully he's feeling better. I
We
know
should-
a few weeks ago he finally had that knee
Had the
surgery to
yeah.
get those damn screws out of his knee joint. That must have been horrible.
I could code
Yeah.
that.
I saw the Facebook posts about like all the blood drainage that he had to have done. That looks
It's like
disgusting.
what I do for a living is I read all of those reports and I code them out. That's my job. So like when people talk about that, like I had literally have numbers in my head when he was talking about what he had done. I'm like, yep, that's a 20680. And I just have these freaking too many years, too many codes.
Clint, does your office have a deadbolt?
It does. It actually is accessible
Should
with the
we be
key
concerned?
from either side.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes when I absolutely can't be interrupted, like if I'm doing an interview or something like that, I will come in here and lock it from this side. Not that I want to be mean to my child and block her exit to come in, but sometimes I just can't be interrupted like that.
Sometimes fuck
That's fair.
that.
So yeah, that's actually a throwback. I didn't need to have a deadbolt on this door, but there was a time in my life when I was trying to keep teenage kids out of this room, because this used to be my bedroom, and we had a habit of things going missing. So I was
Gotcha.
so frustrated and angry at that point in my life that I put a deadbolt on my bedroom door.
That's fair.
So
a
little
much-
insight into me.
I was just going to say that's a much. That answer was a lot more of a journey than I thought we were going to get.
yeah. Hey man,
I thought you were going to
it's
say
rough
it just came with the house.
it's rough having stepkids, I gotta tell you. So
Nicole mentioning like the burning the children's toys, and it takes him a while to do it, and then he does. He said, like, that literally sums up every kill in this movie. It's Jeff not going to do anything to help, and then at the last second, I'm gonna help him. Literally every kill in this movie is because of Jeff being indecisive.
Not everyone. He at the end, when he said, "I forgive you," and then cut his neck anyway.
Oh yeah,
when he killed Jigsaw, so he had no hesitation there. I mean, he was stupid. He should have helped his wife first, but since she's got a big collar with shotgun shells all over it,
he actually,
which was really cool.
Killed his wife.
Yeah.
So, but hey,
what was the opening kill on this one? I have menopause brain. I can't think of anything. I just watched it literally last night. What was the opening kill in part 3? Oh my god!
It's one of my least watched ones. I've
I've
gone into this blind, by the way. I haven't watched these Saw movies. Like I said, I watched most of them a couple months ago, but that was.
If anybody watching can help, what was the opening kill in Saw 3?
Yeah, I kind of forgot myself. Shit, there always is one. Silly.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, let's look it up, because now it's gonna bother me.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Is it the dude with the thing in his lip?
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
The guy that had hooks, he had like these rings like piercing his skin, and he had to pull himself off of them.
That's right. That's right.
That's what it was.
Before one of those nail bombs went off.
Yeah.
You know.
And it went off and he got splattered.
Well, which again shows another impossible trap that Amanda has set up, because despite the fact he's ripped them out, there is no way you're ripping that last.
No.
You're not ripping your entire jaw.
Out of your jaw.
Yeah, because it was completely.
Yeah.
It wasn't just in his lip; it was in his right
through.
Oh yeah.
Neck. Yeah.
So you would have to rip off the entire jawbone.
Right. I don't even know how you'd be able to rip the ones out of your heels. You know what I mean? Because that looked like it was right through the
tendon.
tendon.
I hate that.
Tendon. Yeah.
I hate everything about that.
I hate everything.
Yeah. Oh, Richard and Claire are eating kebabs. That's cool.
Kebabs.
Yeah.
I like a kebab.
Claire says, "Hey, Peter." And Joe has legit not seen any Saw movies past part 2, so he's zero help. So there you have
Joe.
it.
That's almost impressive.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, he must have just completely shut it down after he's like, "I'm not watching any more of these."
I almost
Some of the best ones are after all that. Some of the best ones are towards the end.
Yeah. They, it's one of those things that this had the potential to be a very disappointing franchise, and for the most part, it wasn't.
It wasn't. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's more hits than misses.
There's only really 2 that I have no desire to watch again. The rest of them I can rewatch over and over and over again.
Did anybody ever get
Nicole's
the feel
most
that
hated are going to be like my fucking 1 and 2? I guarantee it.
Anybody ever get the feeling that that some elements of this franchise struck kind of like 7?
Oh yeah, there was clear influence from 7.
Yeah, because always with the dirtiness and the griminess and somebody always having to have a reason to need to be punished, but instead of using deadly sins, they just constructed
mild
a trap.
Inconveniences will get you killed in this franchise.
Mild inconveniences.
Yeah.
But he's not punishing them. He's not punishing them. He's making them appreciate their life. They're taking their life for granted.
Did Dr. Gordon's daughter need to appreciate her life?
She didn't die. There's collateral damage
Like,
in almost
did she
every
die?
Saw movie.
Yeah.
There are innocent
Yeah.
people that die in almost every Saw movie.
Yeah, and all you had to do at any point in time was like
Right.
do something terrible to one of Jigsaw's family members. You sold this motorcycle to my nephew and he died.
Oh
You
god,
know?
we're gonna get into that one. We
Sold his
are.
motorcycle to my nephew, and he was an
We're
asshole.
definitely gonna get into that one.
You should have
Oh,
known he was an
crap.
asshole.
You sold a case of tainted beer to my uncle. He drank at his cookout.
Explosive diarrhea.
Let's see. Joe says it seemed all the same. Wash, rinse, repeat. So
No, it's
that's
not.
the real reason.
not.
No,
to
the later ones
turn
especially.
franchise.
It's like a horror soap opera. It's
Mhm.
Okay.
fantastic. It is. It just continues, and then we get prequels, and we get it's fucking
And all of a
amazing.
sudden, characters that have one line 3 movies ago are all of a sudden the star of the next one. Like,
That's
Yes,
what I
that's-
love about it.
So
The continuity is
many
fantastic.
apprentices.
Yeah,
That-
he does. He's got like 27 apprentices.
What the hell, man?
That's one of the most
Turn around,
impressive
like,
things.
Who's Logan now? Like, what the fuck?
He was
join
very
the Jigsaw
organized.
Club. We've got jackets.
That is one of the most impressive things about this franchise. Is like they always seem to latch onto some insignificant person or event that happened in one of the previous movies to construct a new story around it and try to tie it in with the main story. So this has become really kind of like the soap opera of the horror world.
It is.
You know what I mean?
That's what I love about it.
Why have we not gotten a Saw movie that is about the cult of Jigsaw? Like, it's just an entire
What year is
fucking
it? Wait.
cult
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is going out. Like, it's almost like the fucking Purge.
Do we have a Saw
Like, it's just a
Revelation?
whole bunch of
that
people
Brian
going
can
out and
hate?
murdering people that they feel like
Oh.
deserve this, and
But
it's just
they know
multiple
he
traps
doesn't
all happening at
murder
the same
people.
time.
He's not.
No, but I mean,
murderer.
like, they totally murder people. But I mean, like, you got multiple traps being set up. The cops are going nuts because you got like 3 people in traps in this area. You got like another 7 people in traps. You got like a group of 20 people all stuck in one trap. Just have to be like the aliens of the Saw franchise. Just go with balls to the wall
I
and
love
have a
it.
12-foot jigsaw on the end that's laying jigsaw eggs.
Jigsaw.
And they all have red spirals on them.
Yeah.
That'd be
Lord
great.
help me.
And like little puppet billies pop out of them.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my.
Those are the face huggers. Just a Billy the puppet pops out and wraps around your head. That's awesome.
Yep. Ride you like a tricycle.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, so Richard's never seen any of them. Claire always told him that they were torture porn bull poo.
No,
The first
they're
one's
They're
definitely not.
stories. No,
Mhm.
they all have stories.
Yeah, there is a legit story to it. I mean, there's a lot of gore, let's be honest. Like, there are some pretty hideous kills, but I don't think it's torture for the sake of torture. Like,
I mean, some people are tortured for a little bit, but really, like, the kills come pretty fast and hard. Like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
say, like, it's not like a Hostel or anything where people are tortured
No.
for several minutes.
right.
No, it's not like Hostel. No, I
Right.
hate Hostel.
Yeah.
And I like
Um,
how everything is connected. Like, all the
All
stories.
just fucking
Yeah.
red yarn just going across the wall. This connects to this. This connects to that.
And Charlie goes,
Jigsaw bought an ice cream sandwich from here in 1987. That's connected somehow. We know it.
that guy
That's
was a
right.
douche.
Ice cream sandwich.
God. Saw 4?
Uh,
Oh, we didn't do our favorite kills. Sorry.
yeah. Richard's never
Oh.
seen Hostel either.
Don't.
I can't blame you there. If you
No,
don't like
it's
torture
whatever.
porn stuff, don't watch that.
Although Hostel too, man, that fucked me up.
I like Hostel too.
Part 3. Favorite kill.
What is my
Yeah.
favorite?
I got to go with the rack.
Hmm.
Definitely.
I like the Frozen Lady just because it was it was
Yeah.
something we didn't see before, and it just
Yeah.
looked kind of cool to see the ice layers building up.
Yep.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Richard prefers things like You've Got Mail.
Aw,
I
you're
actually,
adorable.
I love that movie. That's one of my favorites. I love You've Got Me.
Yeah. Yeah, the ice kill, that was pretty cool. I'd never seen that done before, so that was pretty cool.
I'm a fan of The Rack. I think that one was. When I was a kid, we would watch a lot of the old Tarzan movies. And in one of them, they tied one of the natives to like 4 trees and then cut the trees and it pulled him, it
Mhm.
draw and quartered him. And
Oh.
that stuck
Tarzan?
with me. On the Tarzan TV show, the Johnny Weissmuller movies. There was one, you don't see it, but
Jesus.
Yeah.
that's what happens to him. And I remember freaking the so I think that hit that sort of,
Wow.
Um,
That's pretty crazy.
they did that in, was it 10,000 Maniacs? Robert Englund, Lin Shaye, where they
Oh,
tied
yeah.
the girl to the horses.
2001. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just ripped her apart.
Which was
Yeah.
which was a callback to 2000 Maniacs.
That's what I was
Because they did
thinking
that.
of. 2001 Maniacs. Yeah.
Even though it wasn't a major, well, maybe it wasn't part of the main story, but it was a major plot point in the movie. Dina Meyer's kill was crazy.
rough. Was that was in 3, huh? Or was
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
4?
No, that's 3.
Yeah.
They
That
find
was
her
in
in
3.
4.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
that one, because she just gets like ripped from that one was.
Yeah. Just the chest spreader thing.
The angel
Yeah.
gets its wings kind of deal.
Yeah.
Jesus. The saddest part of I think of that kill was when she sees Amanda and she knows she's not getting out, and her arm, she just reaches up and holds onto the chains
Mm-hmm.
right before it splits her open. Yeah, like she knew she was going to die.
Yeah.
Which again, this franchise just loves killing off characters that are good.
Well, she was
Yeah.
an adulteress. She's the reason that.
No.
Barney
I mean,
Wahlberg's marriage
I
ended.
mean the actor, like the character itself,
Oh.
Dina Myers. I wish that she had been in more of the movie.
Oh, I agree.
Oh,
So does Catalina. She likes Dina Meyer.
yeah, she's mad. Huh, Dina Myers.
Oh, she's
Oh, so
kind of
beautiful.
that almost qualifies as singing. She is just making noises now.
Gonna go watch Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Mm.
Richard says, "Don't even get me started on Sleepless in Seattle."
Oh Lord.
Is that
It's
Rich?
like when Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, it was Richard. Yeah.
I
Claire
love
loves them too.
Met Sally. I love
Yeah.
all those movies.
Holy shit. Well, I just have one final thing to say about Saw 3, and I actually hate Jeff. I hate his
Fucking Jeff.
character so much.
I do too.
I had such a hard time feeling bad for that guy, and like the thing that I feel the worst for him about is the fact that he lost a child, and I can understand that would drive anyone into deep depression, and that would drive like a wedge between you and your spouse. But I mean, I couldn't shake the fact that I just thought he was a complete
He
dick
was a
to his
dick.
daughter.
I agree,
and
100%.
and he she's still there, you know what I mean? And it's like he was so consumed by his grief over his son that he would just treat his daughter like shit and
Yep.
almost completely ignore her, and like was very distant
Sadly,
and
is not.
non-affectionate to her,
When he
Um,
scolded her for taking her brother's toy.
right. And
Like
all
her
she
brother
wanted,
died, she just wanted to hold on to.
yeah, she just wanted to sleep with something that was his, and he like almost lost his shit.
What I
with
tell you
her,
about going into his room and taking his stuff and yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like the most frustrating thing about his character was like he had all this revenge stuff happening at his fingertips, and all he had to do was do nothing and let them die,
Mhm.
which happened a couple of times, and as he
Mhm.
half-assed, tried to save them, but
Mhm.
like he didn't truly seem to care about his family. Like the test almost worked. He didn't truly seem to care about his family until he was about to lose them.
Yeah.
And I think one of the most annoying things about this movie in particular was like in the final moments of Jigsaw's life, as he's bleeding out, he starts a tape and like shoves it towards him, and I was like, "Oh, come on!" They're like, "We got to give you one more."
And I guess, I guess that's 4, where he swallows the tape.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So they go
No, he
back.
swallowed in this one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
They
do
tease
they
it in
show
this
it? I
one.
know they show it in flashback and 4, but do they show him do it in 3?
I'm pretty
I
sure
don't-
they do.
I don't know if they show him swallow it, but I think we might see the wax getting poured on the tape.
Because I know that's in 4 when that's how they explain that he.
We
But
see
if
him waxing the tape in 3, but we don't see him swallow it, I
Okay. That's what I said.
What is that all about?
If you have to ask, you clearly do not understand.
Yeah. Yes, I don't understand. She's doing this on purpose.
You think?
Anyhow. Yeah, so part 3. I think I've said enough about part 3.
Yeah, I don't hate part 3 at all.
I don't hate it, but it's definitely not my favorite. And we shall find out later. It is quite far down my list. Any final thoughts on 3?
No, I kind of wish I would have rewatched it before the hangout, but I had seen it recently, but then again, now I don't remember any of the kills. So
Jeff pisses me off. That's all I got about 3.
that's all I remember is Jeff pisses me off.
Waxing the taint.
Instead of waxing the tape.
No. Did that once. Sweating. Ridiculous. Don't recommend.
Oh my.
The hair does stuff, people. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I've heard this. Oh. All right. Well, I guess we move on to part 4. Part 4, general synopsis to this was when the SWAT team guy from part 2 is somehow, it seems, selected by Jigsaw to be groomed to potentially be a new Jigsaw killer, because he's basically, stuffed into these situations where he could possibly save somebody, and he's basically told not to. So throughout the movie, the theme is to allow people to save themselves. And this is also the movie where we get the return of Donnie Wahlberg.
Right.
Because he's on that seesaw trap that doesn't really truly come into play until the end of the movie.
Wait, he's on a...
He's
on the ice cube, or was that in 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the ice cube.
Okay.
Yeah, he's teetering on one half of a seesaw. There's an ice cube that his feet are on, and of course he's hung up by a chain.
Of course.
And then I think it's Hoffman who's on the other end of the seesaw in a chair.
Yes, who's going to be electrocuted if...
Yeah, with the threat of high voltage if it dips too far in that direction. And then we got that other guy who's basically...
Other guy that I always confuse with Hoffman because they kind of look alike.
Yeah, the other guy was from the kill at the beginning.
Right. Which was the mausoleum trap.
Mm-hmm. One can't see and the other one can't speak.
Yes. And he was the one who couldn't... He was the one who couldn't speak. But I felt like that trap was unfair, and it made me wonder what that guy who had his eyes sewn shut had done wrong. Because clearly, the lawyer with his mouth sewn shut had all the advantages because he could see what was happening. His only problem was he couldn't speak to the other guy to try to let him know, hey, there's a key here. I can unlock us. That type of shit. And he had no choice, since he couldn't talk to the guy, to just basically beat him down and then unlock himself.
And then rips his stitches out to scream.
Yeah, screams and the stitches break out of his...
Like, buddy, you already killed the man because you couldn't be bothered to do that. Why are you doing it now?
Right. Yeah, if he could have just ripped him open to begin with, he could have talked to the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not that tough when it comes to these movies. Like, I don't know if I could cut my own arm off. Like, and then once you start, that hurts.
Yeah.
What, you gotta just keep going, and then
Yeah.
half the time they never make it in time anyway, even though they've already severed a limb.
Right.
I feel that's unfair.
Yeah. I would have a rough time with that. But many of these traps I look at it and I'd be like, I'd be dead. I would be dead. There's no way I could complete this. And
it's like me and running zombies. Like, yeah, you're fucked.
It's like somebody turned the timer, the hourglass in I don't know, game of
You
like,
fucked.
yeah. So, and this was one of those. This movie, I think, is where we finally found out that John had an ex-wife, and that they lost a baby in this movie, and this is the first time where we gave, I don't know, we gave him more motivation.
Right.
In
And then
order-
we find out that the junkie that caused the miscarriage was Amanda's boyfriend.
These
She
are
was
found
the
out
one
in
that
later
made him go
movies.
in.
Right.
And
Yeah. Later on in subsequent films.
is that what
they-
it is? See, I watched them all too close together now. I don't remember
Right.
which anymore.
They all kind of bleed together after a while if you don't.
Yeah. And again, when
like
you binge them.
I had to take notes to try to keep them straight. And I even went and watched a YouTube series on these where they just give you like a really in-depth synopsis of them, and in order to refresh my mind, even though I just watched them. I watched those YouTube videos and took notes.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm a big researcher here.
It's like Joe, man. He did all that research too. I was so impressed.
Nicole, welcome back. Do you remember
Thank you.
Do you remember much about 4?
I do. 4 was
Okay.
4 was great. Opening trap was great. I love Riggs. That was his name, right? Riggs.
Yeah.
The black guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him.
Thank you.
I love the traps in this one. I love the story in this one. I love that we get Donnie Wahlberg back for a few. I love the guy that played the lawyer. He was in the opening trap he had his mouth sewn shut. It was great. It was great. My favorite trap in this was the couple that was in the school and they had the rods through them.
Okay.
That was 4, right?
Oh,
Yeah, that was the husband and wife. Yeah.
The husband and wife. Yeah, he beat her and her kid, and she had to pull the rods out, and she was going to be okay, but he wasn't because the way they were placed, they were through his major arteries, but not hers. Like that was fantastic. I love that she just fucking killed him. Yeah, I love 4. They killed the rapist or whatever he was. He had to punch his own eyes out, and
That was
great. That was really great. 4 was great. I enjoyed it a lot. And we get more of Hoffman. That was the twist in the end of that one was Hoffman is in on it.
right. That's where we find out that he's the
one of the
Is the end of 4 when Luke from Gilmore Girls dies? Is that 4?
No.
Who?
Is that 5?
No, that's 5.
Son of a bitch.
4 is the one. So the ending of 4 is literally Riggs runs into the room, gets shot going through the door. The door triggers Donnie Wahlberg to get his head crushed. Hoffman stands up thinking, you're realizing he was never going to be electrocuted.
Right.
Yeah.
And the movie ends with basically Hoffman leaving Riggs to die and saying, game over.
Yeah.
I didn't like Hoffman. Sorry.
I love Hoffman.
Made me mad.
It's mainly because of the actor. Costas Mandylor is just fantastic.
He's a very good looking man.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, he is.
Don't,
even better. I'm telling you, man, even better in person. Holy fuck. He gave me a hug and I didn't let go. And I looked up at him and I said, Jesus Christ, it's like hugging a block of cement. Yeah.
brick shit out.
And he actually blushed. Like he was, Costas is amazing.
I'm in agreement with Nicole, though. I really like 4. I like that Jigsaw kind of took a back seat. Kind of felt like they were going to attempt to get away from him and, open the door for Hoffman. And I think that's my biggest problem with Hoffman is that it's no secret 4 was the first Saw movie to not do what they were expecting it to do, financially. And I felt that really caused them to take a step back and be like, okay, we got to do more stuff with Jigsaw, which is why we get in 5, we get more into Jigsaw's backstory. We get
Right.
more into what happened to his wife and everything else.
Mhm.
And Hoffman then kind of, he goes in 4, it really feels like they're setting Hoffman up to be the new Jigsaw. Whereas every movie moving forward after this, he's very just still Jigsaw's lackey. And he's still doing what John wanted him to do, as opposed to taking the reins over for himself. Because the producers wanted Tobin Bell back. They wanted what made the first 3, soul.
So
I love 4, though. I absolutely love 4.
Yeah, 4 is a good one.
Yeah.
And I'd have to say my favorite kill was probably the ice block head smash.
I feel like I just watched this one today and I'm just not remembering.
That was so sad, though. That was so sad that he was still alive. I often wonder if they got the timeline right on that one, because his foot was still in a cast,
Yeah.
but his hair had grown like 5 inches.
Yeah, they
He had
kept
a
him
beard.
alive for something like 6 months or something
They
like
said it
that.
was 6
Something like
months.
that,
Yeah.
Months, but his foot's still. Well, he did crush his ankle pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been. There's no way that healed
And-
correctly. Hey.
And I have to say, the at the end of 3, that fight scene between him and Amanda,
Oh, that was good.
that was brutal. That was hard to watch. That was really hard to watch. 'Cause he just pummeled the shit out of her.
Yeah. Then she stomped his foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Hey.
kill you, you bitch.
Yeah. You're not Jigsaw.
Oh, yeah, that's what did it.
Yeah. Yeah, she was mad about it. Yeah, I did actually feel bad for his character, because it's like, he's basically in prison for something like 6 months, and then he's like, hanging from a chain, around his neck and on this block of ice, and he's just like blubbering. He's like, I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah. Just kill me.
He's like, hell with it. He hops off the block of ice and tries to hang himself. The other guy's like, you can't do that yet. Oh, so bad. Yeah, this one was good.
Yeah.
So the running theme is throughout these movies is like, the rules are very clear, the rules are very literal. All you have to do is follow them, and like, you get all the way up to the end of the movie to find out how much of a moron the person playing the game was. You know what I mean? It's like, all you have to do is let these people fix themselves. Quit trying to save people. You know what I mean? Oh, the squeaking!
Sorry,
man. I
my
can't handle it.
eardrum was
Sorry, that one. Sorry, buddy. That one I had to pull the headphone off.
Yeah. So I'll mute as much as I can until she stops. But anyhow.
Okay, she does have a good pitch, though. I'll tell you.
Oh, she does. Yeah. Definitely.
Sorry.
My
about
friend's
that.
daughter, when she was a baby, she used to have this pitch. She was sounding like a dolphin, and my cat, like, she still does it. She's 10 years old now, but like, not as bad as when she was a baby. My cat would leave the room, even if we were on the phone. My cat would like, I'm out. I'm not doing it. Freaked her out. So 4.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
like
let's.
4. 5 I didn't like.
Okay. Well, I guess we can get in 5.
Sure.
Unless we have more to say about 4.
I feel like I've covered as much as I wanted to about 4, unless somebody else has got something.
It's honestly the most probably straightforward one in the film or in the franchise.
Yeah. Deserving people got killed, and Riggs is fucking smoking hot.
Yeah. And he was also really stupid because he
Very stupid. Yes.
couldn't
Yep.
follow the rules and just hang back and let these people deal with it themselves.
Yep. That's all he had to do. Nope.
In the end, that earned him a bullet.
Yep.
Yeah. And poor Donnie Wahlberg.
All
Well,
I
Donnie.
know. I feel bad for Donnie.
All right, part 5.
Part 5.
What do you want to say about part 5, Nicole?
Fantastic traps. I loved all of them. I love that the twist in the end was they realized that had they worked together, they would have been okay. We do see oh fuck, what is his name? The good cop
Oh,
that got crushed.
the one that plays Luke in Gilmore Girls, Scott. Fuckity fuck.
I can't remember his name.
Scott
Starts with an
Tucker.
S in this movie. But I
Detective. I can't. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm such a fan of these movies and I can't remember shit. But yes, he was. We see him get killed.
was pretty brutal.
That was brutal. That was hard to watch. But at the same time, had he followed the rules again and gotten in the box, he would have been okay.
Detective
but no,
Strom.
Yeah,
Strom,
Strom. Thank
yes,
you.
that's all I knew.
Had he, just gotten in the box,
Woody had
would have been
gone
okay.
straight to the police. None of this would have ever happened.
Exactly. And I think that's the lesson in a lot of these movies is, especially when they have the cops being tested and being in traps, like just keep your calm. Don't rush in. Don't be a hothead. Don't, and you'll be fine. And none of them listen. I enjoyed 5 a lot. I did enjoy the traps. I liked that they realized that had they worked together, they would have been okay. I liked that twist in the end. That scene when he took his arm out of the saw thing in the end, and it was like,
Split,
all the way down.
split all the way down. Oh, God.
oh, that was awful.
That was rough.
That was rough to watch.
He jiggled it a bit. That was
Like a couple of celery stalks.
Yeah.
I think my favorite trap in this one is probably the electrocution one.
Oh, nice.
When
In
all
the
they had to
bathtub.
do, they each just had to hold it and get a slight shock, but no, they had to be greedy and stupid, and she ended up killing the one girl. And when she was just plugging her in every limb, she was plugging something in to get the door open. And the hook, she hooks her in the back of the head. I'm like,
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
That was
So
great.
crazy.
I enjoyed 5. 5 is a good rewatcher. I think most of them are, but 5 was fun. It's not my favorite in the series, but it was fun.
Yeah. And he didn't just give them a time limit to get out of a room, say like the first room. It's where like the threat of a door locking forever or something like that. You know what I mean? He had to give them extra motivation. So that's where the nail bombs came into play. So
Yes.
so you have like these big jars full of nails and explosives that if you don't get out of the room in time, you're going to get blown up by these jars.
Yep. You got to get in the tunnel thing. And
Yeah. And we did have a nail jar kill in the tunnel portion because they only had 3 grates that they could open up, and there was 4 people.
Yeah.
So,
But they could have fit 2 people in each one.
Yeah.
That's
Oh shit! They could have fit 2 people in these bunch. Those tunnels were bigger than my fucking bedroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love at the end of the movie too. They're like, it's part of the reel. It's like we could have fit multiple peoples in the tunnel. No shit.
Yeah. Yeah. They could have opened one of them and crammed like 2 or 3 in there.
It's literally
We'll
a
never
fight
let
or
go,
flight
Jack.
response. That tunnel is big enough for the flight response to be like, me go there. I don't care how many people are in there. Like, look at how many people are trying to jump on the lifeboats in the fucking Titanic. You think more than one person was going to try to get in that tunnel?
Do you want mommy to work on this with you?
It's true.
I don't get it. I don't.
Yep. But instead it was like, there's only 3 tunnels. Let's beat the hell out of this guy with a stick
Nice.
and make sure he can't get in there. And then
But
the
again,
other,
if they listened and worked together,
Sounds like the beginning of
They
a joke.
really are
Four people walk
disgusting.
into a room with 3 tunnels and a stick.
yeah.
Rabbi and priest. No, wait, that's something else.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't like 5.
Yeah.
5 almost killed the franchise for me.
Okay.
I hated every character that was in those traps.
Mm.
You're supposed to, I get it, but like I really
Yeah.
hated them. They just everything they said, I'm like, you piss me off so much
Would you just
that
die?
I want you to die in every trap.
Nice.
Yeah, I want them to resuscitate you and kill you in the next trap.
And again, like I mentioned, this is where I feel like Hoffman takes a back seat. He gets a glorious introduction at the end of 4, and he really just kind of feels like an emo teen that's like trying to separate themselves from their parents.
Wow.
It's like, I'm not like you, Dad. I'm gonna make my own traps.
Me.
Yeah, they're gonna be better.
Yeah. It's gonna be like Pit and the Pendulum, like Edgar Allan Poe. That's smart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But
funny.
which is unfortunate because, like I said, I do. The actor who plays Hoffman is fantastic, and when we get to some of the later movies, like he really shines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
This movie especially made Hoffman just. It's almost like a Pavlovian response. So every time I see Hoffman now, I just think of his character in this movie, and I'm like, fucker.
Fucker.
I love him.
exactly.
Love him. This is also the movie, The Opening Trap. We find out that Hoffman is just like Amanda was. He's not carrying on Jigsaw's work. He's just murdering people.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
we get the guy who all of a sudden he has a sister that was murdered by this guy, and that was the pendulum thing.
yeah,
And
yeah. That was his one kill that gained Jigsaw's attention, I guess. So like he had that one was personal, so he did set that one up to where that guy could not escape.
Right.
So even though the guy participated in the trap, it didn't work, and it still killed him.
And that was
Yeah,
from flaming Jigsaw, right? Like he wasn't working with Jigsaw at that point.
No, that was just his way of getting away with murder.
Yeah.
He set it up like a Jigsaw trap so that Jigsaw would take the blame for it, and he would get away, without suspicion of killing this guy. Even though I don't feel like it should have kept him from being a suspect even from the beginning, because this guy killed his sister and everybody freaking knew it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it's the guy that killed your sister? It's like,
And
yeah.
he did things differently than Jigsaw. They knew right away. They knew that the puzzle piece that was cut out of him wasn't with a scalpel. It was with something jagged edged.
Serrated,
Yeah, they knew, right away that.
Yeah. It
But
took a
that
little
fin-
too long for them to catch on to him.
It did.
That's all I'm saying.
But it was horrible to watch that end scene when he
He gets his.
when he killed everybody and set the place on fire. That was 5, right?
That's 5.
That's 3D. Like when he goes through the precinct and starts slicing and cutting everybody.
No, when they figure out it's his voice on the tape
Yeah,
it's
that's when he
3D.
kills the cops.
in the lab.
Yeah, it's 3D.
That's 3D.
Yeah, they
No,
tied it
Or
in.
no, 6. Sorry, that's 6.
6. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Thank
in
you.
3D he's on the lamb.
Okay. No, 3D. Part 3 was 3D.
Is with Sean Patrick Flannery.
That's
No,
7.
Part 7
That's 3D. 7 is 3D.
3D. Final
I
chapter.
thought 3 was 3D.
No.
I'm
It's the
losing my
only
mind.
time that
No,
in
it's
any
it's
movie,
misleading.
The only time that 3 is not
Don't
3D. Which
pay no attention to the woman behind the curtain.
So that ending
I'm
though,
getting
like
all
where
mixed
Strappy, whatever his name is, gets crushed. What was Hoffman's end game there? Because he wanted Strappy to get, I can't remember his name. He wanted Strappy to get in the coffin.
Right.
The getting in the coffin triggers the trap.
Right.
So if he had
He
gone
would've
his
been
way and
safe.
Strom got in the coffin, the
He would've
trap
lived,
triggered on him.
Well, no, I'm sure he knew another way out. He
Especially
probably would have gotten in with
up.
him.
Yeah. Well, like, once
There's
the
room for people.
trap was triggered, the door would have closed, which is what happened once it was triggered, and then
Right.
the room would have.
Hoffman probably
Now-
had like a garage door opener or something. He just like beep beep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if Hoffman would have
Sure, car
walked in at the moment with him getting in the trap and closing it, he would have been like, "Oh shit,
Oh shit!
I'm caught in my own trap." But yeah, it was a little weird that he showed up, just checking to see if the trap had been sprung.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then walked in to find an empty room. He's like, "Oh, where the fuck is the guy?" And gets attacked.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that was part of it, though. I think he already knew that Strom was in the room.
yeah, and I think that he probably knew that Strom wasn't going to trust the instructions on the tape, although he did stop the tape early before he heard the rest of the message. So I think it was kind of by pure luck that Hoffman ended up in that box.
Possibly.
5 movies in, you think people would listen to the whole fucking tape?
I know, right?
You'd think so. But yeah, that was rough. But anyhow, part 5, favorite kills. I actually favorite kill is probably pendulum kill, just because pendulums are fucking cool.
Pendulums,
you know what I mean?
Cool.
It's and even though it wasn't a kill, I'd have to say that the pen tracheotomy really stood out to me.
That was good.
I liked it.
I got to go with the girl in the tub getting electrocuted.
Okay.
The way that one girl just started stabbing her with those things with like no conscience at all. She's like, "Oh, we need to hook this one up right in the back of her skull."
Yeah. She's like, "Fuck this bitch."
And the guy's just standing there like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
That kill actually, in a franchise full of some really over the top gory kills, that one really bugged me. Like especially when they put it in their arms, like that just really looked like they were shoving hooks in a piece of meat.
It did. That's
was
what I liked
nasty.
about it. It was great.
It's pretty bad.
I like the dude that dies because he didn't think to jump in a tunnel. Just the stupid look on his face
Yeah.
just before the nail bombs go off.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, I guess I'll fucking die."
I guess I'm gonna die.
What about me, guys?
Sorry, no tunnel.
It's like the PTSD flashbacks from grade school where he realized he got picked last for dodgeball just came flooding back in.
Yeah, right.
I don't get a tunnel.
Musical chairs, motherfucker.
But yeah, that's like I said, I'm not a fan of this movie, so that kill is the only redeeming thing. The stupid look on his face.
Agreed.
Musical chairs.
Wah, wah. Music stops. It's
This
just
is a
standing
horrible
there, just
game.
shaking his head.
Yeah. Sure, there's been
That's
some
a
real
t-shirt.
injuries.
Musical chairs, motherfucker.
Yeah. Some 40-year-old guy with a scar on his arm. What happened to you, man? Old musical chair injury.
I've seen it get ugly.
Jesus Christ. Like the Duck Duck Goose incident of 1992.
We don't talk about that, man. We don't talk about that.
We're not even going to bring up dodgeball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You could dodge a ball, you could dodge a wrench.
That's
Wait, no,
right.
the way around.
Duck Duck Goose was just an excuse to sucker punch people.
I was gonna say dodgeball, you expect a little physical trauma. Like you don't expect that from musical chairs, but I think musical chairs was the more violent game.
Yes,
ever, too.
somebody rips that chair out from under you, you're crashed to the ground.
All of a sudden, little
Sorry,
Becky gets
Grandma.
her hair grabbed from the back, and yanked back, and
don't know.
someone else gets to the chair.
Duck Duck Goose gave you permission to smack people in the head. So
That's right.
every single one. It's like whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
Well, the harder you
Yeah.
hit them, the longer it takes them to
They're
recover from it,
stunned,
so they can
yeah.
get up and chase you.
Exactly, Duck.
Gave you a little.
Musical
Yeah,
chairs began the spiral into anxiety.
That's exactly what
That was that was the
Not
starting
even
point.
go into thumbs up, man.
I remember playing Duck Duck Goose in kindergarten. I remember it well.
I'll be right
Terrible
back.
game. Okay. Oh my goodness.
I was going to say we're an hour and a half in. Do we want to jump into 6 or do we want to wait for Clint? Because otherwise we're going to be a while.
Abby, did you get a favorite kill from 5?
So I'm trying to remember. I remember the ones you're talking about, but I can't think of any others for some reason. And this is my fault because I watched them all. Like I binged them.
And they all run together.
So they were all running together. So now I'm so confused as to what. But I do know that I think this is my least favorite of the movies 5.
What was the kill before the tunnels?
It wasn't the electric one. It was.
Yeah, there was tunnels, electric, sawing your hand, or whatever to get the blood.
Right.
And then there was one before that.
Wasn't that in Jigsaw?
No.
Cutting
No. No, the end of 5 when they had to stick their hand in the thing and the saw like ran in between their fingers and.
Oh. I was thinking of the one where they were in the machine.
2 people
and
survived. There were 5 total. 2 people survived. The girl in the tub, the guy with the nail bomb.
And there was a trap just before that.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I'm going insane. I love these movies so much and I watch them all the time and now I can't think of it.
Oh, I'm going to have to look this up.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been that memorable.
First trap kill in Saw 5. Because I'm trying to remember the people in it. He was the reporter. There was the girl that worked for the count for the city. The guy that set up because they all died because they imploded a building and it still had people in it. They were all involved in it somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, the necktie.
The necktie.
The wiring that pulled them in.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. The one girl she flew back and the blades were there and it cut her head off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they all had to
we didn't get her story.
Yeah, but the key, that was the thing. The key worked for all of them. So only one person had to get the key and then they could have shared it with everybody.
Yeah. Selfish motherfuckers.
But we already determined that they're crappy people.
Yes. Yeah, we never found out what she did. She went out pretty quick.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one, then we're up to 7, which is 3D.
No.
No, we're up to 6.
We're up to 6.
Yeah.
Clint,
I'm dragging my feet. I'm sorry. I'm like slow motherfucking Jeff here.
So wait, 6.
The health insurance one.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually like that one kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. Because the whole time he thought it was his wife and kid in the room, and then it was actually the person that he denied the health care to, the healthcare guy at the end when he's got to go save every person.
What?
Yeah. 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 The king denier of claims.
Yes.
Seriously, and by 6 too. And by 6, like the twist should have been it was his family. Because literally nobody was expecting it to be his family. Because we've seen Saw 1 through 5, motherfucker. We know there's gonna be a twist. So the twist should be there was no twist.
Right.
Then we wouldn't have gotten to hear the kid from Diary of a Wimpy Kid say, "You killed my dad, motherfucker."
That was a bit of a twist. I'm in agreement with Abby, though. Absolutely. This one's a riot.
6 is actually my favorite in the franchise.
Really?
Wow.
I love 6. We get Tobin Bell back. The health insurance guy, I can't remember his name. I love him. I love the twist in the end. The traps, the carousel trap is my favorite. Mm-hmm. I love that trap when it was painful to watch and it was heartbreaking to watch when, even though these are crummy people,
when they're begging for their life.
They're begging for their life and the final guy says, "Look at me. I want you to look at me when you kill me." Oh my God. I can't. Yeah. I mean,
it's pretty badass.
I keep putting myself in their positions. Like, you've got 5 or 6 people in front of you, and you have to choose 2 to live. How do you fucking do that? You know,
I thought the secretary one was
good.
That was. I mean, I'm kind of glad she lived because she was so good to him.
Yeah, she had a family, and she, you know.
And the dude's like, "Really?
What is he laughing at?
Dr. Gordon had a family.
No, it's
Dr.
like, well,
Gordon had a family.
Oh, I'm just thinking about
But
that.
did they die?
He neglected them completely.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about that guy who realized that there was no way he was going to live after he saved the second person, and he started spouting off all that shit.
Yeah.
And my brain went right to Clark Griswold from Christmas Vacation, like yelling at his boss.
Literally.
Merry Christmas. Holy shit.
What's the Tylenol? I can't.
Where's the Tylenol?
I want Frank Shirley here tonight.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh, nice bracelet.
Yeah, I love that we got Tobin Bell
I
back.
see.
I loved the
Mhm.
message that it was sending
Nice.
about how bad the healthcare in this country really is. And the carousel's my favorite kill. My favorite trap. I love the lawyer too. The one that had to go through the steam maze.
Oh, yeah.
He was gonna, that was a good one.
Yeah. The shotgun merry-go-round is definitely a really awesome kill scene. I mean, that was the most tense one, I think, of the movie. But there was something really satisfying for me to watch the hydrofluoric acid kill at the end.
Really?
Melty melt.
I did like that.
Just seeing his bottom half just hit the ground.
This was a really fun watch because, like, you truly didn't care about any of them.
Anybody? Nope. Couldn't give two shits about any of them. Yeah.
And I like that Jigsaw apologized to the mother and son in the tape. He's like, "Forgive me for putting you through this." Blah blah blah. You know.
Yeah.
And that would have been Hoffman that did that.
Well,
That's
yeah.
You know who didn't apologize to the mom and kids for putting him through that?
John
Tobin Bell in the first Saw.
Yeah, you know of.
Yeah. So the only glaring plot hole I can see in this movie, and I feel it's a pretty big one. I know the market was a lot better when this movie came out, the housing market. But Hoffman is a detective, okay? A detective salary, while not bad, is not like I'm buying a giant warehouse and then hiring, which I'm assuming he's hiring contractors, unless he knows how to do this, to establish multiple rooms, each with an elaborate death trap that will house multiple people.
But
where is the funding coming from?
John Kramer.
He was a toy maker.
John Kramer had money. We find that out. He was an engineer. John Kramer had money.
Yeah.
So when he
Genius,
died,
engineer, architect.
He could have easily just left everything
Guy.
to that beautiful block of cement.
I'm just
That beautiful block of cement.
I just want to believe that somewhere like Jigsaw started a GoFundMe.
I need to teach more lessons.
For legal purposes, I have to say that this GoFundMe is not for murder.
I don't actually murder anyone.
Yeah. It's a community outreach program where he's rehabilitating people.
So let's all agree that yes, we got the money from Kramer.
Yes.
So Hoffman has the funds. That's fine.
Yes.
Hoffman is not hiring contractors to do this. Hoffman has got to be doing this himself. He has a full-time job as a detective.
I don't think he sleeps much.
Where is he finding the time to build all this shit?
He has 48 other apprentices. He's got
that's the part that throws me a little bit. Like, how do you first interview for an apprentice to like, how do you choose that person?
I need somebody that, I need like a what are those friggin' heater people called? Like that install your
like HVAC?
Yeah, like is he needing he's doing interviews? Like, you need your HVAC certificate. I need to see your electrical certificate.
I passed chemistry and
Sorry, we're only looking for apprentices that have post-secondary education at the moment. You can come back at another time.
Are you union? I don't know.
Yeah, we're not really big on union here.
I'd like it if they were just pieces that he assembled, like he did, like
IKEA,
like online, like modular home assembly
Got it
people
from
like
Amazon.
made these things for him. They brought him in on, you know, like a flatbed truck, and he just
I'm just picturing it now. Hoffman just watching a fucking YouTube video or something. Like, hey
how-tos,
guys, this is Bobby
yeah.
Z, and tonight I'm going to show you how to build a carousel of death.
yeah. Yeah.
There's Hoffman like pausing and rewinding the video while trying to get the shotgun just right.
Yeah.
The dude-
Perfect.
Abby must be right. The dude doesn't sleep. Like, there's no way. I know he
There's
has like
no way.
Oh,
Yeah,
exactly.
50
Yeah.
apprentices or whatever, but
50.
Yeah.
That one almost killed me.
Yeah. These are very large undertakings. I see what you're saying.
all I'm saying is I have a full-time job, and doing a YouTube show on top of that eats up all my time. I can't imagine doing all this elaborate shit.
But you like to sleep some, don't you? At least an hour or two a week.
Sleep is for the weak.
Sleep when you're dead.
Yep.
But yeah, no, six is so much fun. Six
It's great.
captures the feel that I wish all the Saw movies had.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's everybody loves going after the healthcare industry also. So there's like,
With
you
good
know,
reason.
it's a big bad that everybody's like, yeah, fuck that guy.
Yep.
There's literally no good guys.
He
in
was
this
the
movie.
murderer. He was the true murderer in the
He
movie.
was the murderer.
That's right.
We're on to something.
Almost like it had a message.
Yeah, weird.
I don't know what
What
that's
was-
doing. Nicole, do you have a favorite kill?
But all of them are so good.
I was tying a bracelet on the Catalina's wrist.
It's probably,
They're all so good.
they're all so good. This movie is just phenomenal. It's my favorite. Probably either the carousel or the steam maze.
Hmm.
Only because when she got out of it, she still went after him. Like she's still like,
Mhm.
you know, not paying attention that she's going to have a giant steel rod just pierce her under her chin. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
do that.
I'll go with the carousel's my favorite because that was the most tense. That was most
That's-
emotional.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
second that or third that too, I guess now. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can't beat that. That's such a great.
You can't.
Yep. Yeah, shotgun merry-go-round, my favorite. I was going to bring up the weakness of the other kill, where he had to hold the two chains to either save the young man or the old lady.
Yeah.
He should have
I
saved
like
the old lady.
that was the secretary one. That just sort of
And the janitor one where he had to hold his breath.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Didn't
Yeah.
it like fall into a pit or something?
No, he got hung.
yeah, by like
Like
razor
when he
wire or
saved the
something.
secretary, the platform underneath him retracted and he just hung.
Yeah,
So there was a whole big room like that with a dropped floor as well in
Yeah.
this magical.
Yeah. 'Cause
Warehouse,
he hit
yeah.
the window when he swung.
I think it was like wasn't it like an old like a zoo room with like a bunch of aquariums and stuff in it.
Jigsaw
Am I getting
Bomberine
this
Land.
confused with the different? Yeah,
It could have
I
been an aquarium. Yeah, because there was the glass was right there.
Yeah.
They were like behind glass. Yeah.
yeah. Anyhow,
Yeah.
This movie's awesome.
that one was.
this movie's awesome.
I thought that one was kind of stupid, but.
What?
Mhm.
I mean, of course it's stupid, but that's what makes it so great. It knows it's stupid.
Yeah. And honorable mention, Saw 6, the opening scene was the one where that chick like chops her arm off with that freaking meat
Yeah.
cleaver
Yeah.
in order
okay.
to stick
Where the
it
one
into
guy's like
basket.
sawing off his fat on the side.
Yeah, he's
you know,
cutting off
like,
his love
"Mom,
handles and
Dad!"
stuff like that. And,
That's what I'd be
and-
doing. Shit.
and
But
talking-
honestly,
yes,
I
he's
The
talking
purple will be
shit to her the
gone.
whole time.
the cleaver on the arm would be the only chance I had because if I had to sit and saw,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, she tried that first like a dummy. She's sitting there with that knife,
Yeah.
I mean-
the camp knife trying to go into her arm.
She actually won that part on
Yeah.
a TV show.
Did
Mhm.
she really?
I heard
Remember
that.
that actress? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scream Queens. She actually won that part. and came back
Funny.
for the
I was gonna
next
say it
one.
worked out for her because she got like
That's
to do
right,
a
she
She
couple
got
of
another
them.
part
back,
in
yeah.
7. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
might be the only person that likes 7, but
No, you're not.
no. Okay.
I love 7. Love it.
Shall we jump into
Right.
7 then?
Are we talking about
Jump
part
into
7?
Yeah.
Part
Part
7,
7, the
Saw
3D.
3D.
Oh God, I fucking love this movie. I love 7. I love Sean Patrick Flannery. He can do no wrong. It's what was the the opening for this one was the window, the store
public.
window.
Yes.
That's
right.
Which is
probably
the
my
only time
favorite.
they've done a public display of.
And that's
Yeah.
probably my favorite. My favorite opening kill is probably
Me
in
too.
part 7. And the guys are fighting over this bitch.
Then
And
they're like,
he
"What
keeps
are
going
we
back and
doing?"
forth like, I love you, kill him. No, I love you, kill him. And it just she just comes down in the middle and gets
Yeah.
sawed in half.
Yeah. I feel like whoever wrote that just got out of a really bad relationship.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Found
like,
out their partner was cheating or something. And
yeah.
yeah.
And there was real mean vibe to that one.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was no love lost with that.
Nope. Yeah, part 7's another one that had collateral damage because his poor wife
Oh yeah.
got cooked. Literally cooked.
Yeah, in the
And
brazen bull.
And she did nothing wrong. Like he lied to her, he manipulated her, but because he lied about being stuck in a trap to make money on a book.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
also where we see Carrie Ellis come back.
I like that
First time.
That part. Come here.
When he walked into that room, like in the theater, I just let out a like it blew me away when they brought him back. And they brought back again the girl from the beginning of 6. Who was not happy about being there.
Yeah, it was like a support group, sort of.
Yeah, it was a Saw support
yeah.
group, a big Saw support group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where she said the best part about surviving was the handicapped space at the mall. You know,
Lifts up a fake arm.
Yeah. Yeah, I call this the Stolen Valor movie because Sean Patrick Flannery was a fake survivor of the Saw trap.
On fire.
Yep. And in the end, he had to do the.
But I do give him credit because he does kick a lot of ass in it. So yes, he lied.
does.
Yes, he was a coward. Yeah. But when it came down to it, he would have survived. You know, he do the thing where he puts the hooks through his pectoral muscles and has to pull himself up. But then it rips. So it's not even that he didn't have the strength. It's it just literally ripped through his chest. And that scene gets me.
Yep. The lie caught him and it killed his friends and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Because, when those hooks ripped, you were just like, oh, fuck, man.
And he went down
thought he was going to make it. He hit the floor hard. And you realize that, like, she's dead. Because there's no time left on the clock for him to restart. You know? I love 7. 7's a lot of fun.
7 is in my top 3, which is weird because it's not a very good movie per se, but I just think it's a hell of a lot of fun.
It is. Ryan?
The only redeeming thing I'll give 7 is when Hoffman goes like straight up, like Jason Voorhees on the
murdering Jill and
entire police force to get to Jill. That was friggin' awesome.
That was fucking awesome.
That is the only good thing I will give about this movie. That and the fact that we got Jigsaw in a backwards baseball cap to show that he was 10 years younger. A theme they would continue in Saw 10 because they just said, fuck it, this is a prequel and we're not going to do anything to make them look younger.
Shawnee's got like...
And you know what? Good for her on that. She still looks smoking hot.
She does.
It's not it's 100% not a detraction to the movie that they didn't bother to de-age these people, but it is
not like that.
You notice it.
Yeah.
But absolutely, I love that they did that.
Yeah.
Just let Shawnee Smith be Shawnee Smith because she fucking rules.
She's stunning.
Oh, absolutely. She's great.
She is so tiny. Like,
yeah, she is. She's like very tiny.
This little peanut when you see her in person. It's.
But yeah, no, I absolutely despise this movie. It
really
makes me angry.
Really?
All right.
Would be the
Did we
first
do
one.
favorite kills? Sorry, I was distracted.
No.
Did
We didn't even know. We don't know if you like it or not.
No, we
Oh,
haven't got to your.
this is not my favorite. I didn't hate this movie. But I had kind of the same problems that you're talking about, Ryan. Like, well, and Nicole, the wife did nothing wrong, and it's like she didn't deserve to be a part of these traps.
Mm-mm.
I mean, to be his motivation, okay, sure, but like to actually cook her and kill her seemed like real disservice to her character. Where her only fault was loving a guy who lied.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, sorry, you're dead. It's like,
I was
holy shit.
honestly fully expecting her to be another one of Jigsaw's
Accomplices.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be the twist. He falls, injures himself, the timer shuts down, and she just stands up and walks out of the room.
That would have been fantastic. That would have been a
And-
great ending.
And that was the
Yeah.
thing. She was in it all along, the marriage and everything. She knew that
She
he
didn't
was
know
never.
she never knew.
No, and that's what I mean. I that
In
would have
his
been a twist.
mind.
Oh,
She
I'm
did know.
sorry. I'm sorry.
In his alternate history.
Yeah,
Alternate ending.
that he was fucking lying from the beginning. So she was like, pulling the strings and everything. And
Another accomplice.
that would have been great. But instead, no, they just killed this poor woman that literally
But
her
that was
only crime was
Hoffman,
that she
right?
loved
At
somebody
this
who was an
point,
asshole.
This is Hoffman that killed him.
Yeah, it's Hoffman
Yeah.
who doesn't give a fuck.
So yeah, I mean, he's not following John Kramer's guidelines at all anymore. He's just a crazy fucking.
Yeah. But in the end, we see Carrie Elwes come back when he's getting the shit beat out of him by a bunch of people in pig masks.
I love that.
And then Carrie Elwes comes in and just pulls the mask off. And so
I
fucking good.
remember
And he looks
freaking
at the
out at
foot.
that.
Uh-huh. He looks around in the room where he sawed his own foot off.
Yeah.
And,
Sees his
and-
little foot hanging there still
Yep.
in the thing.
Yep.
He
Game
should have
over.
saluted it. That would have been
wrinkly
cool.
Yeah. that was so good.
Little
That
tiny
was so good.
mummified foot just still in its shackle.
This movie's fucking stupid.
I loved it. I loved it.
And I love that every fucking episode, every one of these movies, someone's got to slam the door at the end. Get him
Yes.
over and
Game
slam
over.
the door.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
I think probably the cringiest trap, probably my favorite, is the fish hook.
Oh fuck
When
yeah,
he's
that's
got to
awful.
pull the fish hook out of her
Oh, the
mouth and
stomach
she has to stay
key.
quiet.
Oh, and she can't scream because
Yep,
when
or
she
else
screams it,
the
and he's
things
like,
will come in and jab her in the neck. Yep,
"Ugh."
that's probably my favorite.
And then he's like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yep,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I would
Yeah.
have told him to do. Just yank it the fuck out.
Yeah.
oh.
And
And I like the guy blindfolded. That was a good one.
yeah. I felt he was very irreverent at the end of the fishhook scene where he just like screamed at her dead body. It's like, if you would have just shut the fuck up. I'm like, really?
Yeah, you're wrong.
Trauma makes you do weird shit.
Yeah. I
Oh, the
guess
guy
so.
that was blindfolded and he had to like tell him how to
Yes.
get. Yeah.
He was so close, and when he threw the key, and he just fucking missed it. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't save a single person. He made
No, he didn't. They all died.
made his way through, and I give
Mhm.
him credit for completing each thing, but he didn't save one
Yeah.
single fucking
Because he
person.
sucks.
And
'Cause he's-
it was see no evil, hear no evil, speak
Yeah.
no evil, and
And then
Yeah.
he had to pull out his own teeth to get the combination.
That-
and
so
Such a stupid movie. My favorite kill though was the I liked the Chester Bennington
Thank you. I was
Rube
going to bring it
Goldberg
up.
thing with the car.
Yeah.
the what?
They were all like a bunch of skinheads.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. When
Yeah.
it went down on her face, I was
Yeah.
laughing.
That was pretty awesome.
And he was super glued to the
He was super glued to the
Ugh.
seat.
the
and he had to-
seat.
he
Pull
ripped
himself
himself
up.
off, but then
He had to rip himself loose in order to pull a lever. And
Yeah.
I really apologize for doing this, but they made this joke in that Dead Meat video that I watched about this movie, and I have to repeat it. So I apologize now. R.I.P. Chester Bennington. When he was reaching for the lever, he tried so hard, he got so far, and in the end, it didn't matter.
Didn't even
it
matter.
didn't really matter.
Chester Bennington is the lead singer for Linkin Park,
Oh, okay.
and
See, I don't
he
know.
he had a cameo. He was the guy in the car in
In the
Saw.
car,
Oh,
yeah.
he was.
So,
Oh, see,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
And he
As
passed.
many times as I've seen the fucking movie, I didn't know that. Because
It's
that's
a-
another rewatcher. I can rewatch that one over and over again.
It's a horrible joke, but
It's funny as fuck.
But it's funny
I
as
know,
fuck.
right?
Uh,
Oh shit. So
yeah, this is I can't even believe I'm saying it. It's just one of my favorites in the series. But I think it's also like I saw it with two of my girlfriends. We had never done a horror movie together. We went dinner first, had a couple drinks, went to the movies. We just screamed and yelled at the screen and had a really good
Mhm.
time.
I was yelling at the screen too, but for a different reason.
But different reasons, yeah.
That and I hate 3D. We talked about this before. I
Oh,
can't do
yeah.
3D.
I know.
what? You didn't like the hacksaw like spinning at the screen?
Yeah.
when
Oh yeah, I'm
Carrie
sure it
always
looked
threw it?
amazing when you were wearing the glasses.
Yeah. When the things were coming at your eyes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I wasn't wearing the glasses because I can't do 3D.
Oh, fantastic. All right.
Right.
Any final words on part 7?
Fuck it.
Okay. Moving on to part 8. Jigsaw. Nicole, what do you think of Jigsaw?
I
I think we agree on something here. Go ahead.
the traps are great. The traps are almost always great. I did not like this prequel. He was living next door to this lady when she killed her baby, blah blah blah. When did Jigsaw ever went during his cancer treatments? When did he ever live in a row home? He didn't.
I don't recall that either.
And this person that messed up his x-rays, what the fuck was that? And then in the end we find out that all this happened like 20 years prior. It was just confusing. It was
Still confused on it, and I just watched it today again.
Yeah, it's just I don't get it. Again, I love the traps. Beyond that, the story sucked. We do get Tobin Bell back again, but again, they could have just put a backwards baseball cap on him because apparently this happened 10 years prior to his death. I didn't get it. Not a fan.
So we're seeing, flashbacks to the original time that this happened, but we also have this new killer recreating almost the same thing.
And using his blood and his fingerprints and his
because he had access.
I was
to it
so
'cause he worked in the
confused.
hospital. Yeah.
I did like that part of the twist, and I'll admit I didn't catch it. Like, it surprised me. I liked that Jigsaw had done these kills 20 years ago, and the new killer was revealing bodies based off of those kills, but 20 years later. I thought that was neat. Doesn't make a lick of sense in the world of the movie, but for the audience, that was kind of a cool.
I hate it when they create shit just to make another movie. They just make new shit up that never happened originally.
But wait,
just to make another movie.
Go with
this
it.
X-ray tech accidentally switched his films, and what the fuck was that? Like, yeah, I didn't like it at all. Not my favorite at all.
Although Supergirl pinning the death of her baby on her husband, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
This is a middle of the road Saw movie for me. It was fine. It's actually the only one I've never seen in theaters.
Okay.
I said, I don't know if I'd mentioned that, like with my friend, I said the last couple of movies we hadn't gotten a chance to see in theaters. This was the first one we'd never seen in the theaters together. And this one I had waited until, this was during the pandemic, wasn't it? No, it was just before it.
It was just before it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that I can't even use that as an excuse. I just kind of didn't care about Saw at that point. 7 really left a bad taste in my mouth, and this one was getting fucking trashed for reviews. So
it should have been. It was awful.
I did like it more than 7. But yeah, middle of the road. Honestly, probably the most forgettable one in the franchise for me. But it did not make me mad, so it's got that going for it.
Yeah, same. I think the kills are very good. It's I just like I said, I watched it today and I'm like, I know that sometimes I get distracted, but I tried real hard where I was actually like trying to read, like, what am I missing? Like, how are we? And then it came all back around and I was like, oh, okay. So maybe now with what Ryan's saying, maybe I didn't pick up on all those things and I'll go back and watch it with fresh eyes. But
Still won't like it.
Still won't like it. It just confused me. Meh.
Yeah. I didn't need this one. I didn't like the guy who played the killer. Just the way he played the role, I didn't care for it. He didn't seem to fit his background, the background of his character, the way he played the role. I didn't hate the story per se, but I did hate the laser cutters. I thought that was ridiculous and stupid.
With his
then-
head went,
Well, it's like
that?
that with the Demogorgon from Stranger
That's
Things.
exactly what I thought.
Yeah,
of
yeah. It's like it flopped so much.
Flowered
It's like there
open.
wasn't an actual skull in there. I mean,
Nope.
it's like
Yeah,
just
no
blew up.
bones. Just
no
yeah.
solid bits came out. It just all opened up like a flower. I'm like, what the hell
Mhm.
is this? You know?
It was
Yeah.
symbolism. It's because he was such a soft boy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Didn't have a backbone, didn't have any bones.
And
No
I,
bones.
and I couldn't decide if I wanted to laugh or roll my eyes when like the storyline part came out about, you know, Jigsaw's nephew buying this motorcycle with the faulty brakes.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? That was the whole reason why the guy was there. I was like, oh, get the fuck out of here, please. You know, and the other thing with the body in the coffin. You know, they randomly decide to dig up Jigsaw's body
Jigsaw.
to make sure he didn't somehow come back from the grave, you know, to perform these murders, which everybody knew that, you know, he wasn't alive. So why dig up his coffin? And somehow this guy managed to get there first with the guy from the hospital and slip his body in there. And nobody noticed that the ground had already been disturbed. I mean, what is this? Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Although we did advance into new technology, and instead of having a tape in somebody's body, they had a USB stick.
That's true.
So, Clint, you bring up a talking point I want to bring up really quick with the coffin,
Okay.
like with
Yes.
Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Because they were all like, did Jigsaw come back? Would any of us be mad
If Jigsaw actually
Jigsaw
came
came
back,
back?
fuck no.
Like,
Probably not.
give me vengeful Jigsaw ghost. I am 110% on board. Make the traps more supernatural. Like,
Sure.
Holy fuck. I mean, we'll get into Saw 10 later because I do enjoy that one, but
Yeah.
I
he already
want
half dresses like a
ghosty
reaper
Jigsaw. Exactly.
with all the hoods and everything. He's kind of like
start
a
putting
reaper
coins on their eyes so that they can pay the ferryman and all this shit.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my god. No, we definitely 100% need a supernatural Saw movie where Jigsaw just comes back.
I mean, isn't that Hellraiser? No.
Some of the later ones, yeah, I guess. Maybe that's why I like the later ones.
Maybe.
Yeah, Jigsaw sucked.
Yeah.
Confusing and stupid.
Yeah.
Though the traps were good. The traps are always good, but
The story
but
was
that's
a little convoluted.
And that's the problem with a lot of these sequels. The traps are never bad, but you can tell these movies, like in the writing room, they start with the traps
And work a story around it.
yeah.
and somebody decided, so on top of just making a story around these traps, we're going to make this the most convoluted like soap opera-y story where you have to have watched the last 3 movies so you know who this character is in part like 8.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they literally made a side character from the first 2 movies a main character in part 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
I like part 4 though, so I
Yes,
mean it's
yes,
weird that I'm
you're
bitching
correct,
about that.
But the best trap in 8, I think, was the kid with the motorcycle in the spiral.
Oh, when
Thing.
she took the thing in the thing.
Oh.
Yeah, that was good.
The
Yeah,
setup
that's
for it
pretty
was dumb as fuck, but the actual trap was amazing.
Yes.
Right. Right. And how the hell she managed to slam a piece of rebar into the spokes of that fast-moving wheel, I have
Yep.
no idea.
Ah,
And why it took so long for the motorcycle to just bend that and continue running. Like it didn't like, yeah, never mind.
I
It
feel
should have
there's
choked,
Not really
should have
science.
choked out the engine and it should have died. You know
but
what I mean?
he got spiraled like a ham, so that was really
That
good.
spiraled like a
I feel there's other parts of the motorcycle you can hit to make it stop working instead of just trying to jam.
Yeah.
You got a rebar.
I don't know. Maybe pull a spark plug wire. I don't know.
The engine's right there. Like, just
Right?
fucking, it's not like it's a car. This movie's just, this is the most mid Saw movie there is, easily.
Yep. It's just sat there helpless while he got churned up in a blender.
Yeah.
But I agree. Favorite
Spiral cut ham. So good.
Hey,
Oh, just really quick before we get off it. Growing up, there was never anybody in movies with my name. And this is one of the first movies where one of the characters had my name. And he
real
was an
name,
asshole.
Oh, great.
And I was like, oh, that's not cool. And I can't think of the other movies to use as an example, but I have heard my name pop up in more movies now later on. Everybody's an asshole.
really?
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, do people just hear Ryan and they immediately assume, well, he must be a dickhead?
Yeah, I would think like Chad, maybe. I don't know.
Right. Anyway, to those guys, I say,
Yeah. Like I feel that way about certain names. Like if you put a Tanner in a movie, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, he's a dick.
We're not going
or
back.
Chase. Chase is a big one. If someone's named Chase, I'm like, well, you're obviously.
Obviously,
I'm trying to be careful here because I can't remember the names of Nicole.
We're sitting on next to you.
I can't remember the name of your son. Speaking
Oh.
of,
Her
I can't remember
son's
the
name?
name
Her
of your
son?
son.
It's William. Like
William.
William
Okay.
Sadler.
Yes,
That's
that's all you
right.
got to do.
Okay.
Think of Sadler.
See, I'll remember that now because my brother's name is Bill.
Yep.
I just didn't want to pick your son's name.
I would
Those
not
guys
be
are always
offended.
assholes.
I would not be offended.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, he really is a dick. You know, it's like Tanner. That's
Let's see. I thought the syringe kill in this was cool.
That was good. Yeah. When
That
she
looked
just got
good.
melted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
oh, where they had to choose. Yeah.
No.
Just make them all.
He's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna shove all
Yeah.
three in there.
And the cable amputation of the leg was pretty awesome.
That
That
was
was good.
pretty cool. In the
Mm.
three, in the three sections, I like that.
Yeah. What do you call that? Trisecting?
Trisecting.
They
Uh,
cut his leg up like a freaking sushi roll. Yeah.
I believe anything more than 2, you just say vivisection.
Okay.
Doesn't sound.
Yeah. I don't think that's as cool, but okay.
But if you insist, do there.
Any other highlights? Anybody like to bring up?
No, it's crap.
All right.
Any other highlights? Have we brought up a singular one?
That was their awe highlight.
Mhm, mhm.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I think we all agree on this one.
Yeah.
Seen it, saw it, done.
There you go.
Thought.
There you go. Well, we have now extended past my expertise with the Saw movies, so I shall rely on the three of you for the 2 remaining
How
films.
did you not watch
Okay.
these?
I mean,
I was told ahead of time not to waste my time on Spiral, but I'll let you guys talk about it.
Nicole, you want to start us off on Spiral? Because I feel we're going to have very different opinions.
Hot garbage. Hated it. Don't even bother with it.
I liked it.
Tell me how you really
I
feel.
knew you would.
I
I don't even remember any traps. Like it's that forgettable.
You got the waxy
Rock.
face trap?
No, Chris Rock as a serious cop, it's just ridiculous.
Good night, Joe.
Good night,
Night, Joe.
Joe.
Night, Joe.
Thanks for coming.
So
Yes.
you talk about Chris Rock. I just want to interject. You remember in our most recent recording, I had talked about smelling the fart acting.
Yes.
Mhm.
Chris Rock is doing that the entire runtime of this movie.
Yes.
If you go back and rewatch it, he's constantly doing the face. He is
Yeah.
smelling a fart this entire movie.
Yeah.
And it is a pungent one because he's
And
Twitches
it's
up
his
the nose
acting
and-
that is
It's like, it's like Al Bundy in every season of Married with Children.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't take him seriously. I can't. It ruined the entire movie. I know they tried to do like get back in the more seriousness of Saw, and it didn't work. Cast was awful. Although Samuel L. Jackson is amazing, but he wasn't in it enough. He was very underutilized. And again, I don't remember any of the trailers. I saw it twice, and I don't even remember anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had laser cutters in the last movie. Did Samuel L. Jackson have his purple lightsaber in this one?
He did
He was
not.
done up like
Damn
a
it.
doll, like a puppet,
Damn
and
it.
he got police brutality.
Oh,
police brutality.
Um,
that sucks.
Then do
I-
not take it off
I-
again.
respect this one for attempting to completely separate itself from the John Kramer storyline, because we get no flashbacks. Tobin Bell's not even in the movie.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
I believe he did a cameo as the voice for the tape,
Mhm.
and his picture is in it. That is the most we get of John
That's
Kramer in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do appreciate that. They're trying to do different. We don't get Billy the Puppet. We get that weird SS Pig.
Yeah.
I don't even remember it.
What the fuck?
And the voice
It's
Yes.
that forgettable.
The voice was different. Yeah, it's like that. It sounds kind of like a female-ish AI voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's meh.
Hot garbage.
I enjoyed it. I've watched it a few times. It kind of harkens back to the first one. It tries to go back to being more of a police procedural,
Right.
Right.
but it still gives us those ridiculous traps. Like the wax on the face one was brutal for me.
Oh yeah, the girl,
chief,
right?
The chief in the basement. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other ones come and go. Like you got the subway kill where he has to jump and sever his tongue.
Oh, his tongue. Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
The glass one was cool where the glass was flying
He's
and kept cutting up
hanging
that dude's back.
from his tongue in the subway. He's got to basically cut his tongue off and not get hit by a train
He had to jump to sever
so
his
that
tongue.
he would sever
Yeah.
his tongue. But didn't end
the
well.
electrical tub where the guy's in the tub that's going to be hit with electricity, but he has to break all his fingers.
Oh, I do remember that.
I don't remember any of this.
Okay.
I saw the movie twice, and I don't remember any of it. I saw it in the theater, and I watched it again at home. Well, of course, I watched it again 2 years ago,
I just watched
3
it
years ago.
today and I don't remember.
It's so forgettable.
Let's see though. It is. I do find the correlation because you've mentioned like you don't like the original Saw because you feel it is pretty boring compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
And I do feel this one is the closest feel
To the original, yeah.
Saw.
Yeah, which is probably why I don't like it.
I'm not the same as you guys. I do recommend people check it out for something different. Chris Rock's is very touch and go. I do love
it's
that
not
joke
my
he makes
least
of
favorite,
Pilates
I'll
though.
tell you that.
He makes a joke Pilates doesn't exist and women are just using it as an excuse to cheat on their husbands.
I'd say if you're a diehard fan of the series and you haven't gotten this far in it, I would say watch it just to keep the continuity. But yeah, hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
Hot garbage. Awful.
Yeah, I'm more of the it's meh. I don't think it's hot garbage and I don't think it's great. It's kind of mid for me. It's definitely not my least favorite or even my second least favorite. It is my third least favorite.
I'd ask what Nicole's favorite kill is, but it sounds like she doesn't remember.
I don't
any of
even.
them.
I'd have to say the wax one because that's the only one I remember.
I did think it was cool that they had set Samuel L. Jackson up to pull a gun when the police stormed in,
Yes.
and they kept him in darkness so the police didn't realize it was Samuel that they were looking at. So he winds up, dying from, like I
Death
said,
by
the
cop.
cops. Yeah, the cops shoot him up.
And again, they get somebody like Samuel L. Jackson in the movie, and he's hardly in it.
I don't even know if
He
Samuel
was-
Jackson knew he was in that movie.
I don't
Nice.
think he did. He was so wasted. So wasted.
Like his scenes are so minimal too. Like he could have been in any movie. Like he isn't in it enough to realize he's in a Saw movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was all right. Clint, what'd you think? I know.
I remember nothing about it. It's probably because I didn't see it.
Haven't actually seen.
You know, I heard
Yeah, this one
Spiral.
I'm
I
not-
thought they were talking about Spiral cut hams.
Nice.
That was the last movie.
Okay.
However, X.
So
Yeah, are we
good.
on to X now?
Yeah,
think
we're on
we're
to
on
X.
That might be my favorite.
X is. I was blown away when I saw it, completely blown away. And again, we go back. X takes place between 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And they had her in a wig, lots of makeup, trying to make her look younger. And I didn't even care. Like, you could
No.
tell she wasn't the same. You could tell that she had aged. I didn't even care. The story was so good and the traps were so good. And to see John Kramer again, he goes to Mexico for this miracle cure from this doctor that he thinks he's going to be cured from cancer, and she's a con artist. And she takes him. And one of my favorite lines in the movie is, "Of all the men to cheat, you picked John Kramer."
Kramer.
And they all get set up, and there's some twists. There are twists in it. There's just to see Tobin Bell and Shawnee Smith together again, working
Mhm.
together again, was brilliant.
Yeah, Clint, this one I will definitely recommend you watch.
Yeah, you
Like
gotta
I
watch
said,
this one, man.
Fantastic.
it legit. And when I watch them now, like when I did it this run, I did the first
Good night,
one.
Ellen.
Night, Olin.
Nolan. I did so basically I saw, then saw
Mhm.
X, then saw 2.
Right.
Like that's the order in
Yeah.
which they go in.
Okay.
And honestly, I think it's my favorite now. I think it's edged into my favorite.
Mhm. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It's awesome.
I don't even want to give it's not even giving stuff away because it's a prequel,
Right.
but it's just so they set him up so badly. Like the guy with the scar, he's like, "Oh, this is my war," and
Mhm.
he's the one that he meets him in a cancer support group,
Yeah.
and he's dying. He's got stage 4 pancreatic cancer. This guy, and then John runs
sorry
into him again.
to interrupt you, Abby. If Clint hasn't seen this, do we want to get too spoilery with it?
No, I don't. No,
I'm
you're
not going to
right.
remember.
I mean,
say tomorrow.
Oh,
we
okay.
obviously know he wasn't cured. Obviously,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know
Of
that.
course.
they do that in the trailer. But yeah, it's again, you don't want to say too much, but
Yeah, I
other
I
than
would recommend
watch
this
it.
one you watch even tonight if
Watch
you have
it.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it
with
on
the-
the?
I
I think
don't.
it's on the
It
server.
is.
Did it make its way on there? Because I was
Not
looking
sure.
for it and I didn't see it.
Oh,
I didn't see it
maybe
on there
my,
either.
maybe it's on my other server
Mm.
because I do have it on the server.
Mm.
Yeah, because I don't think it was put on.
Well, if I can
Yet.
find it for not a ridiculous sum of money, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I think right now
Well-
it's just like renting and buying for like $20.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
You can rent it for like $2 though, or $3.
oh, you can.
Should be able to.
Oh.
I won't go into spoilers, but I will say, like with Nicole talking before, like how John Kramer is not a villain. This movie does the best job of doing that.
Yes.
You are rooting for
Yes.
John in this movie. This is the movie Tobin Bell deserves to have from this franchise.
Yes, he's very humanized in this movie.
He's not just a boogeyman. And the fact that they give his character so much more, it's done very well. Like when Halloween 2018 came out, I did not think there was any way that you could do a legacy film better. I thought Halloween 2018 was almost perfection.
Yes.
Easily Saw 10 trumps Halloween 2018 for me. This is how you
wow.
handle and respect a franchise and make a
Mhm.
sequel so much later.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%
like-
agree.
I'm sold. I got to see it.
You got to see it. You got to see it. I want to watch it. I saw it in the theater and I am dying to watch it again. Dying to
Mhm.
watch
I
it.
wonder if I give you guys my login, I have under my Plex, I have 2 servers.
Then you just run into the problem of whoever you're sharing your server with. They might get I don't know. Like it depends on how much bandwidth they have. Because
Yeah.
if they got multiple people now, it's gonna start running up them.
Yeah.
Because every time you're watching a movie on somebody else's Plex server, it's
Although it is, you can get it for $6, I think, to rent on
Okay.
$6.
on
Jesus
Prime.
Christ! I thought our inflation was bad in Canada.
And it should be on ours soon
Yeah, we
when
probably just have to ask him. I don't
he
think
gets back. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's not in town right now.
Yeah.
correct.
I think it intended to put it on there, but
Just go.
and I was looking, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's not on there yet.
You don't have a premium subscription with YouTube, do you?
I don't.
Okay, because it's free with the premium subscription.
This darn
That's
just
when I
watched
do the
the
free
ad.
7-day trial and then
Yeah,
What?
And then
I remember
cancel.
back in the day, it was a month free trial.
yeah,
7-day bullshit.
Wow.
yeah,
Sweet.
yeah.
All right. Well, are we at a point where we want to rank these movies?
Sure.
Oof.
And maybe since I have less to say about it, I'll offer mine first.
Sure.
So I will exclude the 2 movies I did not see, so they will not appear in my ranking.
Okay.
So I'm only 1 through 8. So my 8th spot, or the one that I liked the least, I'm going to give that one to Jigsaw. And seemingly in descending order, I'm going to give the 7th spot to Saw 3D, the final chapter. And we may disagree on that one, but that's fine.
You just don't like Jeff.
Yeah, that's it. Saw 6 is going to be in the 5th spot for me. Saw 5 I will put in the 4th spot. But I skipped over my 6th spot. My 6th, yeah. So
Does that mean
8.
you fell the trap?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did.
worst to best.
So Jigsaw is 8. Final chapter 7. Saw 3 is 6. The 6th spot for me. Then Saw 6, Saw 5, Saw 4. I'm going to give the number 2 slot to the OG, and I'm going to make my number 1 Saw 2.
We are going to be so all over the place with
Jesus Christ!
I'm sure we are.
our opinions on this.
I'm sure we are. But just they're in my brain, really fresh, and in order of how I enjoyed them, that's where I put them.
All right. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to go from best to worst. just
Okay.
'cause that's how I have it listed. Best, my favorite is 6. I love 6. Second favorite is 10. Saw X is. I actually had trouble deciding whether it was going to be 6 or 10 for the number 1 spot. Third on my list is part 2. Fourth on my list, forgive me, part 7. I love part 7.
Whatever.
Ryan's face.
That's my
Every
fourth
time I
also.
give my opinion, Ryan gets this look on his face like, how am I friends with this person? Really?
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Next spot, the 5th slot is 3, and then 4, and then 5. Where am I? 8th spot is the original. Sorry.
Wow.
It's so fucking
Oof.
boring. Just can't stop looking at Ryan's face every time I say something. My 9th spot is Jigsaw. Awful. And last is Spiral. Hot garbage. Hated it. Really could not bother to watch it again.
Our lists are not the same at all.
No, they are not. They never are. Once ours were the same. Once.
Oh my
And
God.
what was that one? You talked about Scream?
It was
that-
No,
Final
Final
Destination. We
Destination.
100%
Final Destination.
We
agree
agreed
on
100%
Final
on Final
Destination.
Destination.
So, Ryan, you're doing best to worst or worst to best?
I'm going to do worst to best.
Okay.
So starting from the bottom of the barrel is Saw 3D / Saw 7. Fuck that movie. So hard.
Wow.
It is the only one in the franchise that physically makes me angry. Everything about it. I don't like any of the twists. I hate that Carrie Ellis became the villain. That's just fucking stupid. Following that with Saw 5. We already talked about my feelings on Saw 5. My number 8 spot is Saw 2. Because, like I said, I don't like where it was taking the franchise with that serious tone / over the top traps.
Mhm.
That's followed by Saw 3, just because Saw 3 I feel is meh. I have Jigsaw, then followed by Spiral, because I feel those two are really just kind of mid-range Saw flicks. I did like Spiral more than Jigsaw, though. My top 4, Saw 4. It's quick. It honestly feels like a side story. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Saw 6 is in my number 3 spot because that movie's great. Now, my number 1 and my number 2. I have Saw 10 for number 2, and I have Saw for number 1. The only reason right now it is that way is because I've only ever seen Saw 10 the once. I saw it in theaters. And I feel I just need to give it more rewatches before something changes. Because honestly, if it was up to me, Saw 10 would be my number 1. I absolutely loved it. But again, I've seen it once. I was coming into the theater. I was all like, holy shit, that was like the best thing ever. Because I was coming off of fucking Jigsaw and Spiral. So no, I do feel it needs multiple rewatches before it trumps the original Saw for me, which that fucking ending. There is no movie that has a better twist. Ever. Fight me on it. I don't care. That is the greatest twist in cinema history.
I'm gonna fight you on it.
No. Your Bruce Willis's is your,
I wasn't even
Well,
thinking
that's
Bruce Willis. No.
All right, so I'm gonna go worst to best. I think my least favorite is 6. I know I really don't like 6.
Wow.
I think I just don't like him.
We don't
I-
agree on any of this.
I know. Then
Man.
Jigsaw,
Okay.
then
Understandable.
Spiral, then 5, then 7. I think 7's fun. I'm sorry, Ryan. Then 4, 3, 1, 2, and X. So X is my favorite. It's changed in the last couple of years because, like I said, 2 I never used to like. 1 was always my favorite, but I think 1's moved to my 3rd favorite. 2 is my 2nd, and X is my 1st.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know why maybe I'll give 6 another try sometime. I was not feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah, the storylines kind of blur together a little bit, I guess. But
That's where I get with 4 and 5. 4 and 5 blur together for me.
yeah, those are the ones that really get mixed up for me.
4,
as well.
5.
It's the Hoffman-Strom story in those two
Yeah.
that just, they get
They-
mixed together.
They're
And
my
they really like to blend timelines and stories
Yeah.
in that general area, and you get really confused really fast. But
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want you to
Right
watch it. I genuinely thought it was just such a well done movie.
Mhm.
It's
yeah.
things happen and it's not all good, but Tobin kicks ass.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of like the hallmark of the Saw movie. It's like most of the things that happen in them are not good things,
Not so much, not so good.
And he really has to spin a chain of events to claim that he's not a murderer. I mean,
He's a murderer.
He's a murderer. But in Saw 10, you're just like, good for you.
yeah. Well, see, I like that. It's like
Fuck this system, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was, there for a while. I was really getting disconnected from it. I was like, how the fuck,
Well,
is
see,
he
I think
still
that's
like
why I
feeling
like-
righteous in what he's doing?
I think that's why I liked X so much, because the people in that are the most disgusting people. They're people that are stealing from terminal cancer patients and giving them hope and just stealing all their money and conning them. So you like, I feel
And-
like in the later movies, like you were saying, we got away from
Mhm.
really, that's why you're punishing them, really?
Yeah.
But those people, you're like, yeah, fuck those people.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, I didn't hate, what the hell was it? 6, where they were dealing with all of the insurance people.
That's
But-
7.
No, that's 6.
That's 6.
Okay.
Wait,
7's 3D.
7 is Sean Patrick Flannery.
but isn't that's
Right.
just the insurance guy in 7?
There's no
Or
insurance
the
guy.
insurance
There's no
guy in
insurance-
6?
Insurance
Oh,
guy's
wait
in
a
6.
minute.
It's in 6. Did you get your order out of it?
I did.
Your
I
order is out of
totally-
order.
That
No,
is
it's already
not
it's
my-
been written down. No.
6 is the
Too late.
shotgun carousel.
Yeah,
All right,
Yeah.
I don't hate that one. That's not my least favorite. That's not my least favorite.
I got
Did you say 6 was your least favorite?
I did.
I went to the
That was
bathroom and
surprised.
I'm like, there wasn't going to be any surprises in Abby's list. I'm like, I can run to the bathroom, and she started with 6 was her least favorite.
Yeah, but I think I
Got 6 and
think I
7
meant
mixed up.
5.
That's what I mean about these
Oh,
movies.
okay.
It's easy to get
5 was the
confused which one
people
is which.
who didn't share the tunnel.
Yeah. I think that's my least favorite.
Okay.
Okay.
6, I think I thought was 7, but 7 was actually 3D. And okay, we're good now. I apologize, 6.
That was
It's
a roller
so
coaster.
easy to get them mixed up, though. It
Yeah.
is.
But the 6th movie just felt like one big series of revenge kills.
Yes.
You
That's
know what I
fine.
mean? You know, and even though technically some people lived, there really was no way to win that game.
Yeah.
No, there isn't.
Because seriously, your choices are either that you die in Jigsaw's game or you have to pay for therapy. Really?
And prosthetic limbs.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
But you get good parking at the mall.
Yeah.
$6
Yeah.
for a block of cheese. Like, fuck
Yeah.
that. Just kill me, maybe.
And you get to go through everything just to be melted by hydrofluoric acid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have to say real quick, since we're
Yeah.
talking about Saw 7, Sean Patrick Flannery, if I feel like I'm doing one of my reviews with you, Ryan, because I'm going to plug something. If you have not seen Nefarious, please see it. It's streaming on Amazon and it's on Tubi. Sean Patrick Flannery should have gotten an Oscar for this fucking movie.
Oh,
It
wow.
was
Never heard of it.
creepy. He was phenomenal.
Serial killer one where he says that the cop's gonna end. Yeah, I remember.
Where he's possessed. He claims to be possessed.
Yeah.
And the whole movie is basically him being interviewed in jail.
Ooh.
And he goes back and forth between the killer and the demon. And he's so fucking good. So good. So yeah, if you get a chance to see it, see it.
Like
I'll check it out. I
like-
like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Edward Norton in that movie did with Richard Gere.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Primal Fear. Yeah.
Like that's the first thing I thought of when you just started describing it there.
Yeah, it's like that, but he's like I was scared. I wanted to cry. Like it was sad. It was like everything. It was
That is really cool when you get to see an actor that has, enough skill to actually, clearly play two characters in the same scene.
Yeah.
Like you don't see it a lot, but I mean,
No,
when someone who does it well, it's pretty impressive to watch.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we finally done it.
We are
We've
done.
made it through
We
the
finished
Saw
Saw.
franchise.
Yes.
We survived the game.
We did
And
a
we're all
good
in
time,
one
too.
piece.
Yeah, we did it in record time, and I was going to say that because
Yeah.
I know some of these with our long lists and so forth, where we don't limit the length of it based on number of movies, like with a franchise, we can go on to like 4.5 hours on these things. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited that I'm going to get to bed at a reasonable time tonight.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm so sorry.
It's only because we didn't have anything
Yeah.
good to say about Spiral.
Yeah, exactly.
That took
I
2 minutes.
did.
That.
And,
Suck.
and you didn't want to spoil 10 for me, and I appreciate that.
Yes.
So,
I really want you to watch that.
yeah, I will.
It turns out Jigsaw was Bruce Willis the whole time.
Holy shit!
And he was dead the whole
Damn it! Damn it! And somebody got their eyeballs sucked out.
Yeah.
But
Of all the men to cheat, you picked John Kramer.
ah,
Well, I'm really
Wow.
glad then that the only thing I spoiled was the post-credit stinger, because in the grand scheme of the movie, it doesn't fucking matter.
sure.
That was another gasping moment. Was the post credit scene? I just went, "Holy shit!" Yeah.
But yeah, in the grand scheme of the movie, it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter now. It's just
got
good.
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
Feel that's a good place to end it.
Yep. I'll say that. Yeah, well, thank you for joining me. Thank you for talking about the Saw movies. I'm glad that we all get something out of this franchise and we don't have somebody here who just completely hates everything that happened in it. It does have some good things. It does have some bad. And I like the fact that we didn't agree on all of it. So
I know.
that's
Or
pretty
any
cool.
of it.
And to wrap it all up, I think the only thing that you could really say to end this is game over.